Han Bing's eyes were as clear as snow. The beauty of her true body as a snow woman was unreal. Seeing that Su Xing's strongest magic weapon was destroyed and that his flying swords were entangled with Li Taisui, Han Bing felt she had no need to fear the current purple thunder monster. The only thing she worried about was the lurking Lin Chong. But even if Lin Chong was to emerge from the star nest right now, she could not possibly intrude into this battle at this moment. In this star duel, Han Bing saw her greatest hope to get rid of Su Xing. I must get rid of this man. Liangshan continent had a saying. Hope is the greatest greed. Han Bing used walking on thin ice, transforming the surrounding area into a world of endless ice. The snow woman's every step froze the surrounding space with a cold that was not inferior to 10,000-year black ice, making most abilities lose their usefulness. Even Su Xing's purple mansion immortal thunder and purple star transforming chi had been frozen by walking on thin ice. Die. A dense cold followed Han Bing's terrified to the bone. Han Bing saw that she was about to kill Su Xing's hope. On the contrary, Li Taisui had a vague premonition. Zijin, quickly go stop the monster. The old man said in a low voice. Han Bing was the star master he favored and appreciated the most, otherwise, he would never have given the birth treasure outline to her. The purple thunder monster was very cunning. He absolutely would not impulsively challenge Han Bing's absolute zero. He definitely had a trick up his sleeve. Li Taisui urged on his thunder magic while Yang Zijin drew her saber and teleported. Hey, don't interrupt the love between my man and that woman. The heavily injured Dong Junqing shakily raised her dragon phoenix yin yang spear. The steadfast star showed an evil grin as she faced Li Taisui and Yang Zijin. Dong Junqing slashed with her double spears. The spears unleashed a dragon and a phoenix. Under Dong Junqing's attack, the dragon and phoenix flipped and intertwined, showing their full splendor. Sensing this dragon and phoenix's strong killing intent, Li Taisui and Yang Zijin had no choice but to stop and use each of their abilities to ward off the dragon and phoenix. That dragon and phoenix were far beyond an ordinary star general's trump card. This seemed full of beauty. Heaven Earth Dark Yellow skill. Li Taisui was stunned. The two of them were contrarily repelled. No mistake. This was none other than Dong Junqing and Zhao Hanyan's Heaven Earth Dark Yellow skill top 1 inverted phoenix, a phoenix never dies. The Ghost Cavalry King had ambushed and killed Ling Feishue. Just as he planned to then kill Han Bing, the woman surprisingly revealed her snow woman true body. Even he could not easily approach. Seeing that Su Xing would not surrender, he thought to himself, this man's death would free him. Therefore, he retreated to the side, once again fading into thin air using his supreme ghost body magic. Su Xing and Han Bing would settle this one-on-one. Stepping into Han Bing's snow woman zone, she unleashed her ability at full power, trying to freeze Su Xing, but at this time, a pair of beautiful fire wings suddenly sprouted from Su Xing's back. Those wings were as bright as flame, resplendent and flaming. Surprisingly, her black ice zone was unable to freeze it. Upon careful inspection, how were those wings on Su Xing's back? Clearly, they were 12 hovering flying swords. These flying swords were neither iron nor metal. They were forged from magnificent feathers. As a result of their featherly elegance, at first glance, they were like burning feathers. Their arrangement formed wings. Clinging heaven vermilion jian feathers. Han Bing was shocked. As the coldest snow woman, how could Han Bing be unaware of what fires posed the greatest threat to her? Su Xing surprisingly used this type of ancient divine beast's feathers to forge a flying sword. Han Bing never imagined this. Even in the previous battle, she did not see him summon this kind of flying sword while at a disadvantage facing Li Taisui. If he used the clinging heaven vermilion jian's clinging fire flying swords against Li Taisui, he would not be so pressed. This man was completely aiming for her. A terrifying and resentful thought crossed Han Bing's mind. Su Xing's ice-cold and resolute eyes proved her guess was correct. The fire element flying swords, Vermilion Jian, was simply the bane of the ice element Han Bing, but if he had given the girl time to prepare, then he would have lost the advantage. Su Xing had waited for this moment to catch her off guard, to quickly kill Han Bing and not give her any chance to escape. Han Bing shouted. The 33 black sky star frost swords flew over. Her chest hurt. Zhao Hanyan's true immortal finger just now was showing its effects, making Han Bing's abilities not as strong as before. This damned couple, the icy woman flew into a rage. Vermilion Jian unfurled at Su Xing's sides like wings, melting all of the snow woman's space. Her endless snowstorm, ice and frost basically could not touch Su Xing. Su Xing raised his hand, and the 12 heaven-tearing first intercepted Han Bing's dark frost flying swords. Then, Vermilion Jian converged, combining into a long sword. Flames ignited, drawing a long trajectory, easily breaking Han Bing's world of snow. Han Bing had a sense of foreboding. She prepared to escape using the jade pendant, but at that moment she decided to kill Su Xing's hope. She had already lost the chance. This damned man had trapped her. Han Bing could only use her fill power, use her snow woman true body, to make a last stand. A senseless death struggle. Vermilion Jian twisted, and the light of clinging fire gracefully dances, destroying Han Bing's protective abilities. Su Xing followed close behind, the dragon sparrow Du-Long saber piercing through Han Bing's body. Han Bing grabbed Su Xing's shoulder, her fingernails digging deep into his flesh. The woman's eyes were full of indignation, her snow-like pupils staring fixedly at Su Xing, burning this man's face into her mind. So loathsome. Almost able to feel her breath, Han Bing spat out 2 words from between clenched teeth. The woman's expression was so beautiful. With a closer look, behind her ice-cold mask was a warmth that was out of this world. Even a person made of stone would find it hard to remain unmoved, right? Su Xing stabbed the blade in further, straight until Han Bing was stuck against Su Xing's chest. The girl's killing intent was plummeting, the snow-white brilliance of her eyes dimming before finally extinguishing forever. She struggled indignantly a few moments longer before Han Bing finally slumped against Su Xing's shoulder, her hands powerlessly drooping. Her body turned into snowflakes, scattering like butterflies. A crimson star fell from the sky. Receiving the power of Ling Feishua's crimson star, Su Xing's face did not have any victorious expression at all. He rushed to Zhao Hanyan to inspect her injuries. The Ling Yan princess somewhat sorely said that this snow woman's death was too eye-catching. She died in your arms. You have made it so neither she nor this princess won. Su Xing smiled and pecked Zhao Hanyan on the forehead. Zhao Hanyan very wearily curled up tightly in Su Xing's embrace. Though terrified to the bone was dispelled with Han Bing's death, she was still powerless to continue battle, but the battle was not over yet. Dong Junqing finished using her heaven-earth dark yellow. Su Xing saw that she had trouble and was about to rush over to assist when suddenly, on the other end of Kaifeng, 2 crimson stars fell from the sky. Like the 1 crimson star from before, that direction surprisingly had 3 crimson stars fall. Add on Han Bing's starfall, this meant that in just a short time, 4 crimson stars had fallen in the vicinity of Kaifeng. This was extremely rare before the 3 heavenly books. The entire Liangshan continent was suddenly shaken. A moment before Su Xing unleashed the Vermilion Jian, on Su Yixiao's side of things. Relying on Su Yixiao's incomparably resilient battle sense, the 2 girls were poised for a reversal. They united for an absolute counterattack, utilizing the Heaven-Earth shears at their highest level. The Heaven-Earth shears twisted by. Sikong Chuha was about to emotionally rush to and embrace Su Yixiao when yellow light surrounded them, trapping the 2 women. Before Su Yixiao and Sikong Chuha could feel surprise, they were immediately pale in the face. Yellow dust rolled, and earth chi scattered. A tall woman suddenly appeared in front of them, but she was not like before. All of Xian Lao's skin seemed as hard as Vajra jade, a translucent yellow, and on Xian Lao's side was a ghastly wound. This was from the heaven-earth shears. Su Yixiao did not dare believe this. Those heaven-earth shears had instantly killed a supervoid middle stage just a moment ago. It was impossible for her to surprisingly still be able to stand like that in front of them. The girl hastily formed hand seals, and the heaven-earth shears proceeded to attack. Intertwining black and white lights twisted over Xian Lao's body, ravaging her, but her skin merely suffered small cuts. She nevertheless did not die. What demonkin is this? Su Yixiao was shocked. Besides her hardened skin, the Xian Lao who revealed her true body was very different from normal. Her clothes fluttered, as beautiful as a heavenly immortal. She did not bat an eye facing the heaven-earth shears, a true stone woman. The heaven-earth shears were not at all useless. Even with Xian Lao's innate powerful defensive power, this kind of weapon that could instantly kill a supervoid cultivator still heavily injured her. Xian Lao beckoned with her hand. Yellow light flew out from her wrist. Any more mention of escape was already futile. The all things bracelet rose, freezing the heaven-earth shears in place. Then, Xian Lao used a inscribed circle of confinement, trapping Su Yixiao and Sikong Chuha inside. When the two of them wanted to use their jade pendants, Xian Lao's last ability fired from her brow. Above Su Yixiao and Sikong Chuha, a heavenly eye opened. The heavenly eye opened, and Su Yixiao and Sikong Chuha immediately fell into a world of serenity. Trichiliocosm, dream of golden millet. Sikong Chuha slowly collapsed, a smile on her face. Her eyes held no anger, and her breath ceased. Chuha. Shan Menger painfully wailed, launching a final attack against Xian Lao. Without her contractor's support, although the sacred star's spear injured Xian Lao, Peng Fei killed her within seconds. In the end, Su Yixiao seemed to last relatively longer in the dream of golden millet. Her thoughts drifted from the princess who fled the Su kingdom to the tavern at the Vermilion Bird Territory's 5 Colors Mountain. The tavern had a very witty couplet that stumped countless literati of the Vermilion Bird Territory. First line, Green Ping Mountain has timely clouds showing sure show. Su Yixiao stopped in her tracks, staring at it with interest for the longest time. Can you counter it? A beautiful voice drifted over. There was an elegant, long-skirted young woman, her face elegant and calm, her eyes carrying a special eagerness. Do you think Yixiao can counter it? Su Yixiao thought and asked back. The girl thought and then nodded. Su Yixiao pondered for a moment and prepared to write her response in the blank space below. The girl handed her a wolf fur brush. The Su Yixiao who grew up in the Su Kingdom imperial court felt this wolf fur brush was far superior to every brush in the world. Taking the wolf brush, Su Yixiao's body relaxed. She wrote freely, her calligraphy beautifully composed. This seems to be a couplet pertaining to the star duels. Su Yixiao panted. The girl wiped her sweat for her. Thanks. The young woman's complexion was still calm. She looked at the couplet Su Yixiao wrote. First line, Green Ping Mountain has timely clouds showing sure show. Second line, when cool breeze stronghold reigns, then appears Hua Rong. Nodding, that calm face showed a slightly hopeful radiance. I am literature star sacred-handed scholar Xiao Rang, true name Qin Yan, Su Yixiao, a Su Yixiao who wishes to be an innkeeper. The girls smiled at one another. Immediately, this was a smile that showed they had found themselves. That was the first time Su Yixiao and Xiao Qinyan met. This was a promise she would not betray even in death. She had signed a lifelong contract. Su Yixiao finally closed her eyes in satisfaction. In Liangshan continent's west, there was a glistening yellow prairie. This prairie reached above the knee, with golden yellow grasses, soft as silk. With the slightest breeze, the prairie would release golden light. Even the dark night would be as brilliant as a blank sheet, a stunning scene. The people of Liangshan continent named the continent's 5 wonders according to the 5 elements: wood element, green shoe forest; water element, black ice abyss; fire element, yellow springs cave; earth element, Cache mountain; and the metal element was named none other than for this place, Ruler Remonstrating Plain. Ruler Remonstrating Plain grew the good speech golden grass. This grass could be made into medicine, maintaining clarity in mind, separating right from wrong. Over a long period of time, the roots of this grass could even ferment and condense a kind of golden jade called good speech golden jade. The artifacts and magic weapons refined from this jade could be used as protection capable of making a cultivator's thoughts clear and reasonable. But the reason this jade was most famous for was because of the star duels. The absolute majority of star generals would use good speech golden jade to forge star weapon upgrade material. The more a star general upgraded their star weapon, the more rare materials would be needed. Other jade simply were impossible to find, so star general's 5-star was a threshold. But Ruler Remonstrating Plain was boundless. The good speech golden jade deposits were abundant and did not need to worry about this problem. Most star generals would use the good speech golden jade as their 5-star, even up to 7-star, material. Oftentimes, when the star generals reached this stage, cultivators would very rarely venture to the Ruler Remonstrating Plains, so as to avoid meeting with a fiend star and provoking senseless disaster. However, although Ruler Remonstrating Plains' good speech golden jade was plentiful, harvesting it was very difficult. The good speech grass and the earth were closely linked together. Ordinary methods were completely unable to excavate it, and because the good speech golden jade could not be so arbitrarily harvested, to obtain good speech golden jade was not a simple task. At this time, there were 3 young girls searching for good speech golden jade at the Ruler Remonstrating Plains. The leader was jade-armed craftsman Jin Qiongyu riding upon a white jade treasure horse. Its skin was sparkling and clear, its pupils jadeite. Its mane was as bright as a ruby, its tail as wispy as smoke, like Lantian jade. Under the golden light, it released an indistinct luster. At first glance, it was not like a spirit beast, rather, a sculpture carved from every kind of precious stone. Accompanying her were another 2 girls. One was wearing multicolored clothes, shorts, long boots, and a heedless expression, but her conduct was far from that. The other was petite in build, wearing a gorgeous white battle outfit. She appeared tiny, but her expression released a biting cold savage presence which made others unable to help but keep their distance. Their identities were not simple. One was an earthly star for Heavenly King, Sik Yuchi, Sun Yueying, and the other was a Heavenly Star 5 Tiger General, Fiery Thunderbolt, Qin Mingyue. With 2 powerful martial generals in the Ruler Remonstrating Plains that star generals often visited, there was no need to worry even if they encountered Strength Star Lu Junyi. So as to give the sisters their star weapon upgrades as the important method to face the Purple Thunder monster in the future, Jin Qiongyu had already stayed more than half a month at the Ruler Remonstrating Plains. She had the dragon carving hammer and the phoenix engraving nail, so her success in finding good speech golden jade was much higher than anyone else's. But she was recently somewhat gloomy. She discovered that a large hole had been excavated in the Ruler Remonstrating Plains. With her perception of jade, she could clearly sense the fine jade this hole contained. Just who could be so obstructive? Even I could not possibly find good speech golden jade so accurately. Jin Qiongyu muttered to herself, her heart increasingly agitated towards that unknown enemy. Probably they have some magic weapon or spirit beast. Sun Yueying shrugged. I heard there is a monkey that is most adept at finding precious stones. In the past, there was a senior that used it to upgrade her star weapon to very high levels. That white treasure monkey, right? But it cannot possibly dig so efficiently. Jin Qiongyu shook her head. My Yuyu tells me this could be an earth spirit beast's work. These traces are surprisingly like hers. Ma Yu was the name of Jin Qiangyu's star best, priceless jade divine colt. It consumed precious stones as food and was very sensitive of jade. She is. Sun Yueying's brows rose. Beast star Huangfu Duan. As far as Qiangyu knows, she is the best at controlling spirit beasts. If she is controlling this Palsi's demon beasts to dig for the jade, that is as easy as flipping her hand. Who cares? If she is an enemy, then Mingyue will crush her. The beast star is extremely weak in martial force, so Qiangyu does not know if she could have lived up until now. Jin Qiangyu was actually very doubtful. Although the 9th star duels had made star generals learn how to last until the 3 heavenly books, the beast star's star weapon was the peculiar, 10,000 beast hibernation flute. It could control all of the world's spirit beasts, a so-called coveted item. Just like how jade-armed craftsman's star weapon could carve jade and stone into sand, if she did not have the backing of an elder sister like Qingzi, she would inevitably die encountering a star master. For support and spiritual energy-type star generals, danger was always magnified. I hope she still lives. Yueying sighed from her heart. Sick Yuqi did not want to kill her. If a sister had star-fallen before they had even met, that was too lamentable. Qin Mingyue suddenly shouted, "Got something." Whoosh! The ground suddenly bulged, and then a demon beast burst out. Where are you running? Seeing the demon beast that had excavated the good speech golden jade, Qin Mingyue barked and straddled her fire jade thunder beast, giving chase with the aggression of raging flames. Let us go look and see just who is being a hindrance. Jin Qiangyu patted her priceless jade divine colt. Sun Yueying indifferently followed along. Strange, has all the good speech golden jade been extracted? Wu Xinjie was very depressed. After receiving the white treasure monkey from Shi Yuan, she had originally thought to borrow this spirit monkey to harvest the entire ruler remonstrating plains, but after staying for 5 or 6 days, the good speech golden jade she harvested that could actually be forged into star weapons amounted to a mere few dozen pieces. As she searched, she found there were already numerous holes previously excavated. It was very clear someone else had done the same before. We do not get to take the stage so easily, but to have such a small harvest, how can we return with this to the others? Wu Xinjie looked at the girl beside her. Hun Yangzi's pupils were like a great sea hiding grief. She softly said, "Elder sister, there is no need to feel guilty. Dear husband will understand elder sister." The 7th Husanyang star weapon reached 7 star. When the time comes for her to test young lord, we cannot possibly allow these seniors to look down on us. Does elder sister's star weapon not need ascension? Never mind the concealing heaven star's fan. Xinjie is not clear where the 8 gates black gold chains materials are located. That Bagua sand is completely unheard of. The 8 gates black gold chain is elder sister's secret star weapon. Compared to Nyangzi's golden wind and jade dew double sabers, it is far stronger. It is unavoidable that its upgrade process is more difficult. A pity that earth rank is too difficult. Xinjie currently has yet to comprehend it. Wu Xinjie was helpless. This was probably what they meant by win some, lose some. Nyangzi gently said, Nyangzi remembers that Mount Dingjun has a Wuho Bagua tomb. Elder sister, why not let us go there and look? First, Xinjie helps you find enough good speech golden jade for your 6-star upgrade. We are still off 15 pieces for the 64 needed. We have 320 liang of new sand. Another 2 days should be it. Young lord has waited a very long time for us. Wu Xinjie smiled sweetly and looked at Hun Nyangzi. Nyangzi must miss young lord very much. As Nyangzi should. Hun Nyangzi said matter-of-factly. Little sister is so outspoken, no wonder young lord loves you so much. Wu Xinjie covered her mouth. Dear husband also loves elder sister very much. Hun Yangzi said. Wu Xinjie smiled. Not long after, the white treasure monkey jumped onto Wu Xingjia's shoulder from the ground. Now, only 14 left. The knowledge star pointed, and the 8 gates black gold chain manifested. All of a sudden, Hunyangzi quickly drew golden wind and jade dew, spinning around. She coldly glared in a certain direction. Elder sister, other sisters are coming. Wu Xingjia's gaze followed. An imposing and violent flame approached, very quickly arriving above them. That beast snarled, spitting flames. Its whole body was covered in red scales and feathers. Its tail was a fire king snake that flicked its tongue. This beast was ill-tempered, and the little lowly riding on top of it was also not too patient. Qin Mingyue. Wu Xingjie recognized this little girl was surprisingly the thunderbolt of the 5 tigers generals. Qin Mingyue resentfully grit her teeth. That day at the Crystal Dragon Palace, being slain by Lin Yingmei was the greatest humiliation of her life. Treating Wu Xingjie as an enemy on sight, she was equal parts furious and envious. Knowledge star resourceful star Wu Yong. Jin Qiongyu also rushed over. When she saw the white treasure monkey, her expression immediately sunk. So it turns out the one who cleaned out the ruler remonstrating plain's good speech golden jade is you. Humph, elder sister truly took to a lot of trouble. Xinjie actually feels that would be you. If it is jade-armed craftsman, it is not impossible that you would want to excavate all the jade here. Wu Xinjie chuckled. Has that man abandoned you? Jin Qiongyu did not see Su Xing or Lin Chong, and her heart sighed in relief. She gazed at Wu Xingjie and Hunyangzi with a not-so-friendly expression. Without Lin Chong, and with just the knowledge star and bright star, she could completely make them suffer a bit of hardship. Without any indication from Jin Qiongyu, Qin Mingyue already impatiently swung the wolf-tooth fire beacon mace, spurring her fire feather thunder beast to crush Wu Xingjie. Little sister, watch this. The fire feather thunder beast worked with her own innate skill thunderclap intimidation. Qin Mingyue's swing was very swift and fierce. Little sister has no manners. Wu Xingjie pointed. The 8 gates black gold chain formed a net in midair to catch the club. With a clatter, the 8 gates black gold chain was shattered by the wolf-tooth fire beacon mace. Wu Xingjie hastily withdrew. There was a rumble, shaking Wu Xingjie's balance. A giant hole appeared in the ground. This ruler remonstrating plane was difficult for normal magic weapons to damage, but Qin Mingyue's mace easily broke through. It was obvious how fierce the little lowly was. For star-destined weapon. Wu Xingjie took a deep breath. Qin Mingyue shouted. The fire feather thunder beast spat a giant fireball, and she swung the mace to strike. But before she could land the blow, a lasso caught her wrist. Hunyangzi used the "these feelings are endless" lasso. The little lowly was acclaimed as a 5 tigers general, and thunderclap intimidation was formidable. With just a flick of her wrist, she sent Hunyangzi flying. Wisdom Star used light smoke dance steps to delicately land. Mingyue does not want to bully an earthly star little sister. Where is Lin Chong? Qin Mingyue held her 100-gene heavy ornate mace in one hand, baring her teeth. Hunyangzi gripped her sabers tightly. Before she could attack, she was shaken by Qin Mingyue's thunderclap intimidation just now, leaving her slightly injured. A 5 tigers general was very formidable, as expected. Mingyue, take them down. The purple thunder monster will naturally come. Jin Qiongyu said. Little sister, watch this. Hunyangzi's double sabers clashed against Qin Mingyue's wolf-tooth fire beacon mace. The little lowly swiftly bowled her over with her arrogance. Blood gurgled Hunyangzi's chest, forcing her away. The yellow rank hate transmission had reached past the wolf-tooth mace to Qin Mingyue's chest. Fiery Thunderbolt was also nearly numb with pain. Their exchange was considered equal, but Hunyangzi had used a yellow rank while Qin Mingyue merely used an ordinary strike. The Qin Mingyue, originally unwilling to fight an earthly star little sister, was irritated. She instantly stirred her resolve. "Little sister, watch this." Thunder rolled, booming. Qin Mingyue's mace violently smashed. Each strike shook the ruler remonstrating plains, and holes appeared in the ground, breaking off countless fragments of jade. Several pieces of good speech golden jade were even smashed to smithereens. Hun Yangzi continuously fell back. Her double sabers were completely unable to oppose the little girl's terrifying arm strength. Qin Mingyue barbarically smashed while Hun Yangzi danced away, continuously evading gracefully, but the killing intent from the wolf-tooth mace still endlessly swept over the bright star. Several holes were opened in her water-blue bodice, and her delicate, snow-white skin was cut. Flying star magpie dance. Amidst her continuous dodges, Hun Yangzi saw the openings when Qin Mingyue swung her mace. She suddenly used her dark rank. Her beautiful figure passed through the heat waves like a magpie, and the shockwave from the mace's impact was also easily avoided. In the blink of an eye, Hun Yangzi was behind Qin Mingyue. Her double sabers stabbed directly towards the girl's ribs. Roar! The fire feather thunder beast bellowed. That eyed king snake tail at this time opened its mouth and bit at Hun Yangzi. Hun Yangzi had no choice but to swing her sabers, crossing them to cut down the fire feather thunder beast's fire snake tail, but she lost her chance. Qin Mingyue's speed was not fast, but because she was mounted atop the fire feather thunder beast, she quickly turned around. The little loli raised her club and swung, forcing Hun Yangzi back. "Watch this." Qin Mingyue violently swung her mace, using yellow technique fire beacon reaching sky. The wolf-tooth mace unleashed a fire beacon, launching towards Hun Yangzi as if it was 10,000 ren. The fire's intensity was great, without any room to dodge. Just as the fire beacon reaching sky was about to reach Hun Yangzi, a net of chains intersected at this moment. Layer upon layer obstructed the wolf-tooth fire beacon mace. "Nyangzi, quickly get away!" Wu Xinjie shouted. "Watch this again." Qin Mingyue's qi and blood boiled with spiritual power. Without any thought, her second dark technique, flame-swallowing mountain rivers, followed right after. Besides Qin Mingyue's undisciplined fighting technique, she carried an inflated sense of her own abilities. But her execution was nevertheless a display of true power, demonstrating the dominance of a five tigers general. This second technique her precisely located the opening for Wu Xinjie and Hun Yangzi. The flame-swallowing mountain rivers crashed down, about to destroy the two girls. Wu Xinjie had no choice. She waved the heaven-concealing stars fan. Stars glittered. Earth technique. The stars have moved. The incoming violent flames were blown by the wind, reflecting them. Qin Mingyue was shocked and suffered her own flame-swallowing mountain rivers head-on. There was a loud rumble, and giant plume of fire and smoke exploded in the sky. Qin Mingyue crashed into the ground like a meteor. The little loli grit her teeth, tears in the corner of her eyes. "Last time, you killed me. This time, you kill my Kai Yun, Mingyue shall smash you to pieces." Wu Xinjie bitterly smiled. This little loli was honestly too savage, to surprisingly force her to use an earth rank so quickly, and she had only managed to kill the star beast. When the bright moon is here, it shall shine upon a return to the rosy clouds. Xinjie never thought that little sister would choose such an elegant name for a star beast. Wu Xinjie diverted her star energy and glanced at Hun Yangzi. Hun Yangzi gripped her double sabers, mulling over her murderous aura. This was chosen by elder sister Qingxi. She seemed to have said this before. "That's not right, who told you this? You killed my Kai Yun. I absolutely will not let you go." Qin Mingyue shouted, thunderclap intimidation once again booming. Her innate skill's imposing appearance was incomparable. Against star generals, before she even acted, her aggression already seized the advantage. If the enemy's martial arts were not too strong, they would often lose the initiative. Hun Yangzi's nimble body techniques were restrained, with no chance to take down the violent elder sister. On the other side, Jin Xiongyu was enthralled by Hua Shui's illusion. Jade-armed craftsman's eyes looked around, yet she did not find sick Yuchi Sun Yueying's figure. What was this elder sister doing? A surprise attack? Qin Mingyue engaged Wu Xinjie and Hun Yangzi alone. The fierce star's swift chi flames made the two of them unable to cope. 100 bouts later, Wu Xinjie and Hun Yangzi were covered in wounds. Qin Mingyue had been slashed several times by Hun Yangzi using light smoke dance steps. Truly boring. You are better off making Lin Yingmei come. Mingyue does not want to fight you. Qin Mingyue grit her teeth. Wu Xinjie and Hun Yangzi endlessly evaded, basically leaving her unable to find a way to vent the surging destructive desires in her body. The latter bright star's wonderful smoke-like body techniques was truly as senseless as punching cotton. Just almost. Wu Xinjie craftily winked. Qin Mingyue was taken aback. Elder sister, do not be deceived. She is using the white treasure monkey to gather golden jade. Jin Qiongyu hurriedly reminded from the side. Qin Mingyue's face turned a thorough red. She flew into a rage. How is this deception? Little sister has smashed the good speech golden jade to the surface. Xinjie is merely collecting some along the way, that is all. Wu Xinjie corrected Jin Qionyu's wording, however, this honestly was convenient. Qin Mingyue's power was too strong. One strike could smash a hole several dozen meters wide. Although many pieces were shattered, there were still a lot of jade that could be used for forging. You can all go die. Qin Mingyue was truly enraged. She gripped her mace in both hands. The mace's imposing aura froze, and then the surrounding air ceased its flow. Shit! She is about to use her earth rank. Wu Xinjie was astonished. This violent little sister's earth rank was considerably tyrannical. She and Hun Yangzi would suffer if not die. Just as she was about to unleash her earth rank, Qin Mingyue suddenly stopped. The little lowly wrinkled her brow. A snow-kicking ebony piebald whinnied and galloped over. Upon the horse were a man and woman, the woman in front and the man behind. This position is intimate. I will have to try it with young lord later when we return. Wu Xinjie thought to herself. So it turns out to be you all sloppily excavating the jade here. The stern woman on the horse was none other than Prestige Star Double Club's Huyen Shuang. The man naturally was her star master, Xie Chang'an. Go ahead and fight first. This general will spectate. You can fight this general once you win. Huyen Shuang smiled. If she used her earth rank, her power would be too depleted to fight against a heavenly star martial general's star energy. Qin Mingyue was not so stupid to be taken advantage of at that time. Xinjie feels we can star duel again after the 3 heavenly books. For now, we each take what we need. Wu Xinjie giggled. The famous knowledge star surprisingly says we each take what we need, I do not believe you. Huyen Shuang smiled. That must be the bright star. As expected, she is the most beautiful in the 9th. Xie Chang'an could not help admire Hun Yangzi. This purple thunder monster is truly fortunate. Not only do you have the knowledge star giving advice, but you also have the most beautiful star general serving you, truly you can die without any regrets, heh, heh. Of course, Chang'an can die without regrets, having Shuanger. Huyen Shuang slightly smiled. Did the purple thunder monster not come with you? That is not unreasonable. He has so many star generals, he should be very exhausted. Little sister Shuanger is worried for young lord. I shall thank you in his stead. Wu Xinjie fanned herself and nodded. 3 major powers were present. No one dared make the first move. Jin Qiongyu broke free of Hua Shui. Everyone has been drawn together. I fear that this is not something so simple as fate. Perhaps someone has deliberately added fuel to the fire. Be wary of the fisherman eyeing the snipe and the clam. It would be better for each of us to go our separate ways like this. Wu Xinjie was somewhat vexed. Huyen Shuang and Qin Mingyu were both 5 tiger generals. Neither of them were opponents she and Hunyangzi could possibly face right now. Sowing dissension was not a bad method, but it was a pity that Qin Mingyue had just gave up on her earth rank a moment ago. Clearly, the violent little sister was very smart and understood clearly the situation. Xie Chang'an glanced at her and suddenly smiled. Knowledge star, how resourceful, how cunning. No one is better than her at being the fisherman who catches both the snipe and clam. Schwanger, Chang'an has a proposal to have it both ways. Fiery Thunderbolt and the Knowledge Star had a great battle just now. We shall fight against the Knowledge Star now, this way will be balanced. Afterwards, we will fight the Fierce Star, which will also be fair. Chang'an wonders what this Miss Star General thinks about that. This man's mouth was awfully nimble. The situation that Wu Xinjie worried most had come to pass. Mingyue also wants to rest a bit. Qin Mingyue smashed her mace into the ground and sat down. She crossed her arms and adopted a spectator's posture. Jin Qiongyu wrinkled her brow as she looked at Xie Chang'an but did not say anything. Knowledge Star, run. Huyen Shuang dismounted. Her hands produced wind and moon unmatched. The 2 beautiful whips were incomparably dazzling. They were surprisingly 4-star. You should be the ones running. If you kill us, Xinjie and Yangzi will return to the star nest at any time, but you are not the same. Your star master is right here, and you are a 5 tigers general. Think carefully. If it was me, I would not foolishly entrust my back to an enemy. Wu Xinjie said. Well spoken, however, killing you will take no time at all. Huyen Shuang gracefully bowed. If you move, the one who will die is you. Wu Xinjie raised her chin. Huyen Shuang smiled. These words honestly sounded like a bluff. Just at this moment, 4 crimson stars fell one after another in the direction of the White Tiger territory. The 4 crimson stars streaked across the blue sky, shaking all who witnessed this. 4 stars fell simultaneously. At this moment, even Qin Mingyue was stunned. Wu Xinjie and Hunyangzi looked at each other in shock. The direction the 4 stars fell in was none other than where Su Xing was. Could it be something abnormal was happening at that place? They no longer had any mind to face the 2 great 5 tiger generals. Their hearts sunk. 4 stars falling at the same time thoroughly aroused the killing instinct of the star generals present. Huyen Shuang shot forward, wanting to end the battle swiftly. But just at this moment, Qin Mingyue drew the wolf-tooth fire beacon mace. She imbued all of her power into her swing. Her powerful arrogance shook the entire ruler remonstrating plains. Countless cracks appeared, the natural spiritual atmosphere vanished, and the world crumbled. Xie Chang'an was astonished, Huyen Shuang was infuriated, and Wu Xinjie showed a crafty smile. As expected, Qin Mingyue heard the suggestion in her previous words. She knew that if she killed Xie Chang'an, she could kill Huyen Shuang, too. And she currently had no way at all to star duel against both Huyen Shuang and her star master. A real star duel would inevitably result in her death, so in that moment when Huyen Shuang attacked, Qin Mingyue used her earth rank, Heaven Falls Earth Rends. Xinjie said already, the one who dies will be you. Wu Xinjie smiled. Knowledge Star. White Tiger Territory. Su Xing saw the 4 stars fall, and the atmosphere instantly became very silent. When Li Taisui saw that Han Bing had fallen, he furiously roared, Zijin, kill him. Disappointment flashed across Yang Zijin's face. Ignoring the completely powerless Dong Junqing, she slashed directly towards Su Xing's chest. A beam of golden light abruptly attacked, repelling Yang Zijin. Xinger, you truly are incorrigible, were you prepared to cause a ruckus in the White Tiger territory this time? A queen's voice serenely drifted over. When he looked over, he saw a Qilin appear. Chai Ling, Lu Xiao. Why have you come? Su Xing asked, flabbergasted. 3 stars fell in that direction. Could it be that you killed them, Jade Qilin? Zhao Hanyan was very surprised the strongest martial general would make an exception and kill a star master before the heavenly books. However, the Ling Yan princess forgot that Lu Xiao had previously dispatched Xiang Qinqing back at the Crystal Dragon Palace with a thrust of her lance. But Xiang Qinqing had manifested his demon-kin true body at the time. Strictly speaking, he did not count as a star master, so Lu Xiao occasionally would not be so pedantic. Who knows? Xiao is also perplexed. Xiao had thought Ying Mei or Xia would have done it, but that does not seem to be the case. Lu Xiao shrugged. Her words made Su Xing increasingly puzzled. Just what Star Master came to the White Tiger territory? Other people should not have stupidly walked into a trap. The only possibility was the White Tiger 7 spirit stars' other 3 stars. At the moment, he was in no mood to mind this. His battle with Li Taisui had only just truly begun. With Han Bing dead, Su Xing also resolved the worry in his heart. According to what they planned earlier, Su Xing did not want to face Li Taisui at all. He was prepared to kill Han Bing and then leave using the jade pendant. As for whatever trick the Liao Emperor wanted to play on Maiden Mountain, there was that Chao Wuhui standing guard anyways, why should he care? But Lu Xiao and Chai Ling's appearance had thoroughly ruined his plan. These 2 girls did not have a jade pendant. How could they flee Li Taisui's wrath? Chai Ling knew what Su Xing was worried about and concealed her smile. Elder sister Xiao, Xing'er seems to be underestimating us. Lu Xiao chuckled and grabbed the golden Qilin lance. Today, you will all die here. How could Li Taisui ever allow Su Xing to leave like this? The old man was truly furious. His thunder magic threaded through the heavens above, sweeping in all directions. Yang Zijin's brows rose, and she brandished her vast blue emperor saber with tooth extraction. Lu Xiao galloped forth, similarly using a yellow technique. The 4-star Qilin lance and the 5-star blue emperor saber crossed. At the instant their killing intents clashed, Yang Zijin's saber slashed horizontally. Lu Xiao loosened her wrist, letting go of the lance. Then, she made a gorgeous spin and caught another section of the spear, sweeping away. The weapons rang with savage merriment. Yang Zijin caught Lu Xiao's counterattack. The woman with a calm face let out a shout. Blue light glowed, and the saber light dispersed. Good martial arts. Lu Xiao praised. As expected, Yang Zijin was worthy of being called the strongest martial general in this generation. Even after using her earth rank, she still had room to fight. Lu Xiao was impressed. But despite this, it was only by facing such a powerful martial general and star master combination could the strength star's strongest battle potential be excited. The 2 of them traded blows in midair. Rays of saber light and lance light flashed before their eyes. Each collision released powerful killing intent so overwhelming it made others incapable of interfering. Truly irritating. Dong Junqing said. The unable to continue battle Hua Wanyue glanced at her, not saying anything, but there was a slightly helpless feeling in her eyes. She, Dong Junqing, and Yan Yizhen together were unable to take down the blue-faced beast. In addition, they were completely defeated by the Dark Star in the end. Now it appeared that the injured Yang Zijin could still evenly match Lu Xiao. This was the formidable aspect of a contracted star general. As long as they had a star master's star energy, they would not be exhausted. That star general need only fall into the star nest to be able to fight without limit, and to maintain Yang Zijin's first-rate martial general star energy expenditure. Just what level was that demon-kin old man's cultivation? Hua Wanyue could not imagine it. Meanwhile, Li Taisui spotted noble star Chai Ling, and his eyes flashed a sinister glint. The old man's fan moved. A serpent of thunder crashed towards her. The star river Qilin spat out a stream of stars, but Li Taisui formed a hand seal. The thunder magic condensed in midair into a gigantic beast that covered the heavens. Life and death destruction. Li Taisui used two abilities in succession against Chai Ling. When Ensuan saw this, she hastily beckoned the essence-swallowing dragons to devour that thunder and lightning, but Li Taisui's fan moved. As if by an invisible force, all of the essence-swallowing dragons were paralyzed in the air. The fan was then tossed, attacking the essence-swallowing dragons like a sharp sword, moving towards Ensuan. The heaven-concealing thunder beast swallowed the star river Qilin. The Qilin was hailed as a holy beast, but in the end, it was merely a true spirit of evil smiting Hall, a far cry from that ferocity of legend. But regardless, it was still the mount of the strength star. The star river Qilin opened its mouth and fired a blinding golden light, fully imposing. A tiny, insignificant Qilin dares be impudent in front of this old man. Li Taisui's tone was full of disdain. His fingers pointed. The thunder beast devoured the Qilin. For the noble star to dare come to die, this old man shall oblige you. Li Taisui snapped his fingers. A world of thunderbolts cut off Chai Ling's escape routes. Not good. Chai Ling's purple star astral treasure moon seizing star taking simultaneously glimmered with the light of stars, protecting its master. Xing'er then fired a beam of golden light. The Qilin was still struggling with all its might and Li Taisui used a thunder escape magic, instantly appearing in front of her. The old man's apparently frail body was nevertheless as imposing as the 5 sacred mountains. He curled his hand into a claw, completely ignoring the Qilin's august aura and pressed down on the star river Qilin's skull. Instantly, the star river Qilin surprisingly died. Li Taisui immediately turned to seize Chai Ling. The noble star's red ink iron certificate was the strongest astral treasure of the star duels. As long as he could obtain this astral treasure, he could completely make up for the loss of Han Bing. Chai Ling watched helplessly as Li Taisui approached, completely unable to fight back. But the queen was not afraid at all. She maintained her haughty attitude, her mocking grin. This source of this self-confidence very quickly presented itself. Your opponent is me. The fire element Jian feathers and the metal element heaven tearing simultaneously attacked, finally breaking open Li Taisui's lightning barrier. Li Taisui's palm strike extinguished the light of Chai Ling's moon seizing star taking. Just as his other palm was about to strike, Su Xing's palm intercepted. Arcs of lightning twisted, and Su Xing used purple star transforming Qi and purple fiend to counter. Li Taisui's divine intent moved. 2 thunder serpents extended out from the space behind him. This old man's magic was honestly immeasurable. Su Xing grabbed Chai Ling and evaded with an escape technique. Xing'er, this palace did not misjudge you. Chai Ling whispered into his ear. What are you doing coming here? Don't you know that it's very dangerous since you used the red ink iron certificate at the Crystal Dragon Palace? Su Xing's tone sternly rebuked her. Chai Ling's expression resentfully glared. Her heart was saying, this palace knew that you came to the White Tiger territory and was worried you would stir conflict with the demon kin. This palace specially drew in the strength star beforehand for aid. Seeing as your anger is definitely out of great concern for this palace, never mind. Where are you running? Li Taisui blocked in front of Su Xing. So fast. Su Xing was startled. This old man's thunder escape appeared to be equal to his chaotic tail escape. Li Taisui formed a hand seal, and formed a claw-like thunder. Su Xing's hands clasped together, and purple qi attacked. Thunder and purple qi clashed. Chai Ling extended a pure white finger. Xing'er, give him a bit of color. Chai Ling, do you think I would throw this fight? Su Xing was speechless. This palace is speaking to the other Xinger. Chai Ling smiled. Su Xing was speechless. To surprisingly flirt in front of this old man shall send you off to a married couple's death. He urged on his thunder magic, and tens of thousands of thunders surged. Look at this palace's reward, golden 10,000 liang. Chai Ling arrogantly commanded. The three-eyed wealth-inviting beast's whole body glowed with golden light. It opened its mouth, and a blinding gold light flooded the entire area. All Su Xing could see was gold, at least in the hundreds of millions, honestly treating money as if it was dirt. You killed my Liner. Xiaoer is really mad now. As she fought Yang Zijin, Lu Xiao caught sight of her own star beast surprisingly being destroyed by the old man, leaving her endlessly heartbroken. The Jade Qilin's eyes showed indignation, and she used cavalry breaks apart 1,000 militaries. The golden Qilin lance loosed a blinding attack, overwhelming Yang Zijin with the power of tens of thousands of mounted soldiers. Yang Zijin endlessly brandished the blue emperor saber to block. But the Jade Qilin's dark technique was inherently a technique whose power was in the manner of an entire cavalry unit. Its tyrannical power was such that even the normally top-notch martial generals would fall to a disadvantage, let alone that Yang Zijin had already sustained significant injury. Although she had Li Taisui's star energy support, she could not ignore injuries of this level. Yang Zijin's shoulder, chest, belly, arms, and thighs were stabbed one after the other. Her white robes were already stained blood-red, but blue-faced beast still remained apathetic. Those beast-like eyes gave off a terrifying calm. Her thumb gripped her sword hilt, continuously dodging and evading. To be able to face the dark technique of the number one martial general, to dodge based on pure reactions, this level was shocking. After one dark technique, Yang Zijin was already covered in injuries. Little sister, dare I ask your true name? Lu Zhao's fury was mostly dispelled by Yang Zijin, so she respectfully asked. Zijin. Yang Zijin answered calmly. Zijin, your servant is Jade Qilin Lu Xiao. Next time, let us continue our hearty war. Lu Xiao said. A weak smile flit across Yang Zijin's lips, as if the blue-faced beast was saying. Why not right now? Lu Zhao's pupils shrunk, and her lance thrust. Yang Zijin's instantly drew her saber. Incomparably intense killing intent, in the split second before her sword was unsheathed, rolled over everything within a range of several hundred meters, as if a dragon's claws were ripping at Lu Xiao. Heavenly dragon dancing. Now it was Lu Zhao's turn to focus all of her power into defense. Inside the hurricane of golden saber chi, Lu Xiao shouted. Qilin Fall Skyflash headed straight for Yang Zijin. How could a hearty war finish so dully? Charging the next move of this enormous killing intent, Yang Zijin swung her saber in contest, slashing empty space. Her treasure blade is ageless innate skill allowed the girl to wield terrifying peak state powers even while injured. This was a hearty war. A new yellow technique. Devouring edge. The two massive killing intents met in midair, exploding with a metallic howl. Even from far away, others were shaken, and the two girls at the center could neither advance nor retreat. As the strongest, both of them once again traded blows. The two of them pressed on with forceful moves. At speeds faster than the eye could keep up with, the next 100 blows were traded. Yang Zijin warded off the majority of Lu Zhao's attacks, yet she continued to suffer under Jade Qilin's unpredictable spearmanship. Even her fastest tooth extraction was being suppressed. But the two of them both knew this was merely the calm before a storm. Yang Zijin shifted. She bounded 100 chi, heavily drawing her saber. Tooth extraction. The force of 100 tooth extractions seemed to fall like a torrent. Lu Zhao's lance pierced the heavens. Forging onwards the force of Jade Qilin, the lance's killing intent then rocketed into the sky. Countless Qilin flashes fell. The two of them had surprisingly wielded their yellow rank techniques to such terrifying levels. This stunning beyond compare battle captivated Dong Junqing. How incredible, is this the strength star? Zhao Hanyan muttered. What is even more incredible is that blue-faced beast surprisingly able to face her. Dong Junqing was powerless and indignant. The world finally recovered its calm. The two of them faced each other like opposite mountain peaks. Yang Zijin's white robes fluttered. Her right hand gripped the extreme vast blue emperor saber. Blood rolled down the blade from her fingertips, dripping beside her foot. Lu Zhao's breathing slowly quieted. Her face was flushed, her spear pointing straight. Time, between the two of them, had lost its significance. What do you think of him? Yang Zijin slowly said. From her clear eyes, the fighting figure of Su Xing was reflected. The man who can anger Maiden Mountain. Lu Xiao answered in what could be considered the highest assessment. To be able to make your enemy angry indicated that they were afraid that he could actually overthrow it. Perhaps this was the best solution. Yang Zijin nodded and sheathed her blade. She respectfully and gracefully demonstrated the warrior's etiquette. Manners which Lu Xiao returned. Then, Yang Zijin's figure faded into smoke. Disappearing from here. When Su Xing was on earth before, he was aware of a particularly famous saying, money will make even the devil turn millstones. However, ever since he came to Liangshan continent, the power of this saying clearly did not match up to cultivation. Although most of Liangshan continent's treasures would be weighed against gold, the fact was that against a top-notch cultivator, even the most vast hoard of wealth offered no protection from being smacked dead. Furthermore, for top-notch items, gold was merely an arrangement. In a cultivator's eyes, gold was no different from dirt. Su Xing also felt like this, but as of this moment, noble star Chai Ling gave a very vivid interpretation of, gold is not all-powerful, but inside the noble star's pockets, it may as well be. Bestow gold 10,000 liang. Bestow gold 100 million liang. Throw money away recklessly. Chai Ling held the three-eyed wealth-inviting beast. She continuously urged the star beast into firing its golden attack. Golden light filled the skies, covering 100 li area with its golden radiance. Countless golden particles scattered. The powerful, golden 10,000 liang unbelievably drove back Li Taisui's frightening thunder magic. This, Su Xing was flabbergasted. Using endless gold in this way to create a powerful technique, Su Xing felt his own purple chi was suddenly a bit unpresentable. This palace is not lacking in money, wahahahahahaha. Chai Ling laughed in delight, and it was no wonder. She, the noble star Little Whirlwind, was someone ranked in the first 10, but because of the red ink iron certificate, she had instead become the laughingstock of all 9 generations of star duels. Although she was known for having wealth equal to that of a nation, she could not possibly join the star duels and was thus no different from dirt in the eyes of other cultivators. Now that she had the three-eyed wealth-inviting beast, the arrogance that Chai Ling had been repressing for so long was flowing out in full force. The three-eyed wealth-inviting beast spat out beam after beam of golden light endlessly, as if it was a river in the heavens. Su Xing could not help but ask her, just how much did you feed it? This palace specially made Jinji and Yuya stuff Xinger full, probably 1 trillion, Chai Ling said disdainfully. The queen opened her fan, her expression charming. Xinger, you just watch how this palace helps you face this old man. How about it, compared to your wives, this palace does not fall behind. The queen proudly stuck out her chest. Her towering breasts stretched her snow-white bodice tight, showing dazzling capital like the whole person herself. Too impressive. Su Xing shifted his gaze. 1 trillion, he was in a cold sweat. Be careful that you don't celebrate too soon. Su Xing warned her to not be too careless. Yang Zijin is not here, this palace fears only her. Chai Ling disdained this as beneath her. The three-eyed wealth-inviting beast continued to consume money as an attack. Due to its intensity, Su Xing's purple chi and purple mansion immortal thunder were all completely obscured. He was completely without a way to interfere. He may as well not do anything and instead wholeheartedly stand guard against this queen's surroundings. Just let her be complacent then, just monitor her yourself. In contrast to the Li Taisui suppressed by cold, Su Xing was even somewhat sympathetic, who thought that his thunder magic abilities were unsurpassed. He never imagined they would be unable to best 10,000 liang of gold. Money, it really is a good thing. Li Taisui's face was extremely unsightly. Even the very shrewd old man had been slapped in the face by Chai Ling so condescendingly using money. Continuously urging on his thunder magic, astral thunder wildly rolled, but wave after wave of gold washed over them, destroying them in seconds. In actuality, Chai Ling's gold 10,000 liang was not very strong at all. It was merely endless, basically not giving the enemy any chance to breathe. Li Taisui's fingers clawed the air. With the paper fan in his hand, the old man warped and urged on his thunder magic. The golden light continued to pound fiercely, once again smashing the old man back. This palace's conferments are pleasing. Chai Ling covered her mouth and laughed. Li Taisui's tongue split with spring thunder, blasting their ears. The incoming gold 10,000 liang had an opening suddenly blasted into it. Li Taisui's body techniques instantly slipped through. Look out! Su Xing controlled his sword chant. Jian feather and heaven tearing each twisted about. Tearing Li Taisui apart. A projection? Not good. Without any thought, Su Xing used the chaotic tail escape, but the next moment, thunderlight and balls of lightning filled an area of 100 meters, completely suppressing his escape technique. Li Taisui appeared behind them, his fan swinging for Chai Ling's head. An enormous meditative mind lotus flower bloomed behind Su Xing, stopping the old man's sneak attack. Su Xing hugged Chai Ling in turn, but Li Taisui's expression shifted. The lightning balls filling the air suddenly plunged straight for Su Xing. Xinger, be careful. Chai Ling's face turned pale. Thunderfire exploded, smashing against the two of them. Su Xing hugged Chai Ling tight, controlling the 24 flying swords to continuously ward off the incoming thunderballs and lightning and fire serpents that reached 1,000 zhang in length, exploding incessantly in the area around Kaifeng. The spectating Gongsun Huang and the others were gripped by cold sweat. Chai Ling only felt a sense of security in Su Xing's embrace. Though the thundering explosions outside were fierce, this man's chest was like a tranquil refuge, making Chai Ling's mind taste sweetness. Is this the taste of a contractor's star duel? The heart of Chai Ling, who had her first taste of the forbidden fruit, gushed with boundless emotion. Lovely rivers poured from her eyes, and her body grew hot, her secret place moist. She truly wished to eat this man who threw her heart into disarray. Su Xing was not so flirtatious. Right now, he was grimacing in pain. Several dozen thunderballs had broken through the flying swords, continuously drilling into his back. If it was not for the Akla Wisdom King Golden Body, he would perhaps have been paralyzed. You old man, you surprisingly dare hurt this palace's man. Chai Ling arrogantly extended her hand. Just at this moment, Yang Ziaijin was slain into the star nest by Lu Xiao. Li Taisui's consciousness stagnated, and the man's face filled with astonishment and distress. Although Yang Zijin had already been killed once by Lin Yingmei back at the Crystal Dragon Palace, that time was about misgivings over the Azure Dragon territory's strength. In truth, she held back. Even if she had been killed, that was no big deal. But this time was the extent of his power. Li Taisui was unable to accept that Yang Zijin had been killed. He was suddenly angry. Chai Ling said, "It is too early for you to be angry. First see how this palace deals with you." The queen pointed her hand, and that purple star astral treasure moon taking star seizing brocade turned into a purple light that became feed for the three-eyed wealth-inviting beast. Chai Ling moaned, sticking her plump breasts against Su Xing's chest. Their peaks teased Su Xing. Su Xing was startled. Chai Ling's astral treasure bodice had already vanished and become food for the three-eyed wealth-inviting beast. Having eaten 2 astral treasures, the wealth-inviting beast's loyalty was roused. It then meowed. A range of 100 li became splendid as far as the eye could see. Everything was dyed a golden color. In this golden world, spiritual power was replaced with the inelegant and mundane scent of money. Li Taisui's powers vanished into thin air. Chai Ling turned behind her, a smirk on her lips. A formless power directly pushed Li Taisui into the ground. In this world stinking of coin, the old man was helpless. Su Xing was dumbstruck. This was none other than noble star Little Whirlwind's top-notch riches and honor. Richest in the world. Xin Lao sat cross-legged, currently self-cultivating. She could sense that Li Taisui had apparently met with some trouble, but the woman's face was expressionless. It was not that she did not want to go help. Rather, she had suffered heavy injuries from Su Yixiao and Sikong Chuha's heaven-earth shears. Her mind was willing, but the flesh was weak. However, Xin Lao knew that Li Taisui was very strong, so she was not worried at all. Gazing at the suddenly descended golden world, Xin Lao wrinkled her brow and noticed the entirety of Kaifeng, other than the heavenly sacrifice pagoda of the Liao Emperor, had become gold. Dreams of Yuhuan break romantic affairs, silver candle song becomes a statement of riches. Eastern wind tree is jade rouge, twin swallows, seen at the time of opening. Outside the city, she suddenly spotted someone approaching. The newcomer was clad in golden armor, majestic and awe-inspiring. Her right hand held a golden pagoda, and her left hand held a pearl of wisdom. The noble star has surprisingly joined the star duels. This is interesting. The woman muttered. Xin Lao's cold expression shifted. Chao Gai. The woman was grave. The heaven-earth shears and the all-things bracelet rose into the air. General of heavenly vision Peng Fei was even more wary. Thousand Buddha star Chao Wuhui cast a glance at Xin Lao and nodded in acknowledgement. She then looked to the heaven-earth shears and other magic weapons, saying nothing. Although you are a demon cultivator, this one shall not meddle in your affairs. Chao Wuhui smiled and said. Xin Lao noticed that her own body was completely restricted. Her feet seemed to be nailed in place, unable to budge. Chao Wuhui paid her no mind and directly entered Kaifeng, moving towards the heavenly sacrifice pagoda. Only after Chao Wuhui left was Xin Lao finally able to take a step. Atop the pagoda. Light flowed, reaching directly into the 9 firmaments. Yelu Wuxin, just what trick are you playing this time? Were you so resolute last time? Chao Wuhui lifted her head to gaze at the center of the array. Guard dog of Xian Nu, must this king ask your permission for anything? Yelu Wuxin's eyes were closed. The yellow court book moved by itself, page after page flipping by. Endless characters hovered, entering that beam of light. Chao Wuhui was not frustrated. She smiled and said, you suffered crushing defeat already at the Crystal Dragon Palace. It would be better for you to quickly enter this one's pagoda. By the time the star duels finish, this one will hand you over to Xian Nu to deal with. Perhaps she can spare your life. Is this king so easy to deceive? You babble on about Xian Nu, but do you not sacrifice yourself for that empress? This king will not you all to do as you please. Yelu Wuxin shouted. The yellow court flipped, and an array suddenly enclosed Chao Wuhui. 1,000 pagodas appeared behind Chao Wuhui. The heaven-earth dark yellow 1,000 pagoda rose into the air. Yelu Wuxin immediately raised her great Liao treasure book. The book and pagoda shuddered, revealing every kind of scene. Chao Wuhui was stunned. This is an array for a passage to Star World. The Liao Emperor laughed. The Emperor's eyes flowed with satisfaction. This king shall complete your star duels in this world, ah ha ha ha, ha 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 ha. Su Xing looked at the golden world, feeling more and more incredulous. Xing'er. Chai Ling put on clothes and softly spoke. This palace is calling you. Chai Ling was somewhat angry when she noticed Su Xing did not react. I thought you were calling for your cat. Su Xing twitched his lips. How do you feel about this palace? Chai Ling asked. Very extravagant. Su Xing only had 2 words. He had never seen such extravagance, to surprisingly use a purple star-grade astral treasure as feed. Chai Ling charmingly smiled. Inside the realm of richest in the world, with the #1 Marshal General Liu Xiao, and being cherished by this man, was this not the scene the noble star wanted the most to form a contract under? The queen's eyes were unfocused, and her heart had the impulse to sign a contract. I want you. Su Xing was taken aback. Before he could react, suddenly, the world of riches suddenly shook. Layer after layer of gold was peeled away, revealing the original world underneath. Chai Ling turned her gaze. The place Li Taisui was at frothed with spiritual power, blowing away her richest in the world. An enormous power arrogantly descended into this world. Everyone changed. This is bad. That old man has revealed his true body. Su Xing said. An ancient roar ripped open the sky. Chai Ling's richest in the world was already completely broken, and a never-before-seen demon beast appeared in front of them. Everyone had previously made myriad guesses as to just what terrifying form Li Taisui's true body would be, but they were still shocked at the clear sight of his true body. This beast was built like a hill. He was shaped like a hedgehog, with fur and scales, no horns or fangs. His entire body crackled with radiant lightning. He possessed a long tail that was like a sharp blade. A pair of beast eyes were as enormous as bronze bells. A circular area of hair opened upon his back, and his mouth emitting lightning. This was an unimaginably violent posture. At first glance, this felt unreal through that blurry lightning. What manner of demon beast is this? Zhao Huanyan shouted in astonishment. Everyone's eyes widened. They were unable to discern the background of Li Taisui's true body. Impossible, no way, Chai Ling's tone shuddered. Chai Ling, you know. Su Xing promptly asked. Cloud Dream Thunder Pond. Chai Ling did not dare believe it. Cloud Dream Thunder Pond. Su Xing had never heard of this. That he never heard of this was normal. In actuality, very few people would know of the Cloud Dream Thunder Pond's name. To be a bit more precise, the Cloud Dream Thunder Pond was not a demon beast of Liangshan continent at all. This beast originated from the legendary Star World and was known as a Thunder Divine Mount. Its greatest characteristic was that it did not have the terrifying aura of a normal demon beast, but it nevertheless could draw the world's spiritual power together, making the place wherever it was like a dreamland. The reason why Chai Ling knew of the Cloud Dream Thunder Pond was because she had seen it occasionally while she was investigating the prehistoric Liao Emperor. Because it was described as seemingly bestial, seemingly animalistic, consuming the world's qi as sustenance, creating thunder from its body, this left a very deep impression. Of course, the most important point was that the Cloud Dream Thunder Pond was the Liao Emperor's personal mount. No wonder why he's so strong, he's unexpectedly the Liao Emperor's mount transformed. Su Xing said in disbelief. To make this old man reveal his true body, you will all pay the price today. Li Taisui said. The old man had been arrogant his whole life. He had never treated any cultivator in Liangshan continent as an opponent, but as of today, he had been suppressed by Su Xing and Chai Ling's teamwork. However, Li Taisui using his true body actually was not because he was at an impasse. The old man's subtlety nevertheless was on planning to kill Strength Star Lu Junyi and Noble Star Chai Ling in one fell swoop. Li Taisui was very clear that the power of the White Tiger 7 Spirit Stars was gone. Without Lin Chong or Wu Song, the Purple Thunder monster had surprisingly still managed to push him this far. If they had been here, he could not imagine what would have happened. When he saw the instant that Chai Ling and Lu Xiao appeared, Li Taisui had the thought that he must take these two girls down. If he killed Strength Star Jade Qilin Lu Junyi and obtained her vast star energy, Qilin, and her innate skill, if he killed Noble Star Little Whirlwind Chai Jin and obtained her Red Ink Iron certificate, he would have no need to fear the Purple Thunder monster in a direct confrontation in the future with these two items. When he was suppressed by the richest in the world, Li Taisui saw that Chai Ling already had the impulse to sign a contract with the Purple Thunder monster. If the Noble Star signed a contract, the Red Ink Iron certificate would become trash. Furthermore, there would be no meaning in killing her. Because of this, Li Taisui finally was left with no choice but to manifest his true body. He had to stop them from signing a contract right now. As for whether the Purple Thunder monster used the Jade Pendant to flee, Li Taisui did not care at all. Today is the day you die. The Cloud Dream Thunder Pond abruptly opened its mouth. The lightning over its whole body suddenly burst forth, spreading as far as the eye could see. At this moment, the old man's cultivation had already reached the peak of Super Void late stage. This emission of spiritual power swelled wildly, blowing all of the girls into disarray. An intense feeling of danger rushed through their hearts. Su Xing's expression was grave. He immediately controlled his flying swords. The Cloud Dream Thunder Pond moved. Thunder magic flit by, inaudible, invisible. The first to fall was efficacious Star Divine Physician Ansuan. Ansuan had already used the essence swallowing dragons to form an array. The child and mother linked Heart's Needle Star magic was fully charged and waiting. Among the women, she was considered the most safe, but they never imagined the Cloud Dream Thunder Pond's escape magic was so abnormal. In a flash, it was in front of Ansuan. The essence-swallowing dragon sensed the presence of the divine beast from Star World and were surprisingly frozen in place. The Cloud Dream Thunder Pond's eyes flashed with light, and heavenly thunder magic crashed down. Big brother, sisters, run. Ansuan could not withstand this at all and fell into the star nest. Efficacious Star Divine Physician was a variable, and Li Taisui's first objective was to kill this variable. Hey! Yanisian brandished her fists, using Swallow Flash Samsara. Her fists were boundless, the double carp swimming, flashing yin and yang. But the spiritual energy surrounding the Cloud Dream Thunder Pond's body was like an invisible wall. No matter how Yanisian's fists attacked, there was no effect. The old man breathed lightning, destroying Yanisian. Su Xing would not allow him to do as he pleased. Worriedly, he arrived with an escape technique. Jian Feather and Heaven tearing each formed rainbows, twisting one after another. The Cloud Dream Thunder Pond's eyes flashed with light. Li Taisui had been waiting precisely for this moment when Su Xing left Chai Ling, Cloud Dream Realm, Thunder Magic Doppelganger. Flying swords ground apart the Cloud Dream Thunder Pond's doppelgangers. The real Thunder Pond was already in front of Chai Ling. Like a hunter waiting for its prey to show a weak point, he pounced. Immemorial Thunder Breath. A soundless breath suddenly attacked Chai Ling, Xinger. Chai Ling's gaze turned to Su Xing, her face ashen. Her star beast had already exhausted all of the gold and was no longer able to continue battle. The soul moon seizing star taking that she had turned into feed for it as well. The immemorial thunder breath instantly left Chai Ling undoubtedly dead. Die. Li Taisui could not help but impulsively shout. But just at the instant he used the thunder breath, a shadow already waiting for this moment directly rushed straight for the Thunder Pond's chest. Black chi pierced through, warping the aura surrounding the Thunder Pond, running through Li Taisui's body. Li Taisui's complexion changed. He opened his mouth, repelling the shadow with his immemorial breath. The Ghost Cavalry King had secretly received Su Xing's orders. He had long been hidden in Chai Ling's surroundings. Li Taisui's planned victory was instead Su Xing's trap. The Ghost Cavalry King's martial arts did not lose out to a Star General's, and that, ghosts God's bane, he wielded was comparable to a star weapon. Even so, he was still blasted in the face. This was the first ability aside from Langya's clear light that had injured him. His heart was endlessly shocked. He promptly hid away, keeping a distance away. An earthly chi gathered around Chai Ling and shielded her from the incoming thunder breath. The earth book had at some point flipped open behind Chai Ling, revealing an absolute true immortal. Su Xing then arrived beside Chai Ling. Chai Ling was still in a panic. Her life had hung by a thread, truly frightening her quite severely. It was reasonable to say that she did not fear death, but she did not know why when that deathly air swept over her. To think she would never see this man again frightened her. Linger, shower, be careful. You two are Li Taisui's targets. Su Xing said in a low voice. Chai Ling calmed down with difficulty. When she heard these words, she could not help but be angry. This Xinger had known all along about this old man's plans and deliberately used her as bait to create an opening. To surprisingly exploit this palace, she had originally wanted to hurl a few words of abuse at him, but then she raised her head and saw Su Xing's serious expression. How could An Suwen being killed into the star nest be something he wished for? His going to save little Yi just now was inevitable. Her heart could not help but solemnly sigh. Xiao will not show mercy. Lu Xiao arrived at Su Xing's side, her eyes focused on Li Taisui, not allowing him to move as he pleased. I'll stall Taisui. You two immediately run to the Longevity Palace. Su Xing ordered at this moment. Li Taisui's true body was honestly too powerful. Compared to the previous overlords, he was considerably more menacing. Without any fancy movements, just his breath was deadly. Su Xing knew that even if they worked together, that would be futile. The top priority was to first allow Chai Ling to lay low at the Longevity Palace. Once she was inside the Longevity Palace, even Li Taisui would be powerless. Chai Ling's heart was somewhat dejected. Her awe-inspiring richest in the world had vanished into thin air. In the end, was she still only a burden upon this man? Actually, would it not be better that you and Chai Ling sign a contract? Zhao Hanyan summoned the 72 outer void flying immortal swords, raising a suggestion. Su Xing had thought of this, but signing a contract required time. At that time, both of them would be very weak. Li Taisui was very swift, like an illusion. The old man revealing his true body showed he was worried that Su Xing would sign a contract with Chai Ling, so he had no choice but to reject this idea. Su Xing glanced at Hua Wanyue, Dong Junqing and the other girls. All of the girls knowingly nodded. They were already powerless to continue battle. Staying here, they were not Li Taisui's opponents, rather, they were Su Xing's distractions. Chai Ling, let us go for now. Hua Wanyue grabbed Chai Ling. Just at this moment, a golden light descended from Kaifeng. When it landed, a small formation unfolded. Never expected that you were actually this king's mount. Thus, this king shall lend you a hand. The Liao Emperor's voice slowly drifted over. The Cloud Dream Thunder Pawn's eyes glinted. Shockingly, it was a miniature Tai spherical heaven form array. Although it could not trap star generals like the one at the Crystal Dragon Palace, it was still capable of preventing star generals from escaping. Purple Thunder Monster, this old man shall make you regret not bringing Lin Chong along with you. The Thunder Pond opened its mouth. Immemorial thunder breath descended. Although he had been struck by the Ghost Cavalry King's blade, that merely slowed the Thunder Pond. In terms of cultivation, he was still unhindered. He may be without Lin Chong, but Shower is still here. Lu Xiao shouted. The Golden Qilin Lance attacked. Lu Junyi, this old man was waiting for you to come die. Don't be impulsive. Leaving behind Empress Tu to protect Chai Ling and the others, Chai Ling immediately followed. Inside Kaifeng. Yelu Wuxin roared with laughter. Never expected him to actually be this king's mount. This king even thought that it had died. Hard to believe he actually cultivated a human form. Impressive, most impressive. This truly is a pleasant surprise for this king. Chao Gai, will you go save that man, or will you stop this king's ritual? Yelu Wuxin played with a lock of hair, elegantly asking. Her meaning was very clear. The Cloud Dream Thunder Pond was a spirit of Star World. How could these Liangshan continent peasants be capable of facing it? Even if Su Xing was strong, just a few of them were not the Thunder Pond's opponents. If Chao Gai did not save him, Yelu Wuxin only felt this man was inevitably dead. For a time, Thousand Buddha star Chao Wuhui showed hesitance. Yelu Wuxin noticed and carefreely laughed. As expected, you place great value on this man. That this man is capable of contracting so many star generals, this is your work, Chao Gai, is it not? Yelu Wuxin, this one will not meddle in affairs of the star duels. Chao Wuhui coldly said. However, to kill Su Xing is not that easy. Truly heartless. If this is the case, Yelu Wuxin sneered. The yellow court book flipped open. A ray of light shot out from it, and an array unfolded. Chao Wuhui could easily discern this was none other than a small Tai spherical heaven form array. His door out is closed. Now, he can only sit and wait for death. Chao Gai, are you still not going to rescue him? Yelu Wuxin smiled. Chao Wuhui's expression immediately chilled. However, Taisui surprisingly is this king's mount. To hide away this king, this really is unfair. He ought to be punished. Chao Gai, if you go kill him, this king will not oppose. Yelu Wuxin was arrogant. To see Chao Gai was surprisingly so conflicted, she was delighted. Chao Wuhui remained indifferent. If Su Xing is unable to overcome evenly Taisui, then this is his fate. This one can only feel regret for him. Saying this, she struck a hand seal, forming Diana light. The heaven-earth dark yellow thousand pagoda spun, its Buddhist light shined gloriously, attempting to suck Wuxin in. Yelu Wuxin's smile vanished. Her eyes showed a dark expression. As if she had foreseen this, she had a countermeasure. She extended her hand, and 4 rainbow lights fired towards Chao Gai's head. These 4 lights became 4 magic weapons. They were split into the Green Hills Clear Waters ink painting, a gorgeous fan made from the feathers of a peacock, a white and black coiling dragon bottle, and a lantern fashioned in the shape of 9 palaces. When these 4 treasures appeared, the corpses of the 4 great demonic kings inside the pagoda's array simultaneously resonated and moved. These 4 weapons were none other than their strongest magic weapons, mountains and rivers as paintings, peacock dream weaving fan, black and white dragon corpse bottle, and the 9 palaces lantern. Yelu Wuxin killed the 4 great demonic kings to take their strongest magic weapons, turning them into countermeasures for this situation. The mountains and rivers as paintings manifested its scenery to suck Chao Gai in. The peacock dream weaving fan waved in the air, and 7-colored light flew out of the fan. These rays appeared magnificent and light as silk, but in actuality, they were extremely heavy. Upon touching Chao Gai's powers, they stalled it and automatically refined themselves. The black and white dragon corpse bottle emitted a dense corpse chi. This bottle contained the refined souls of 49 dragons, a ferocious corpse chi capable of tainting all kinds of powers. A cultivator would be completely destroyed in mind and body upon contact. Finally, the 9 palaces lantern hovered above Yelu Wuxin. A golden phantom 9 palaces magic circle unfolded around her, revealing a 9 palaces formation. 9 lanterns ignited, forming an impenetrable defense. The 4 great demonic kings' first-rate magic weapons were top-notch works across all of Liangshan continent. If Yelu Wuxin had turned them over to Li Taisui beforehand, Su Xing would have suffered. Chao Gai was unflustered, attacking with the radiance of Buddhist light. She turned her palm over. A grain of golden sand appeared. This sand sprinkled in Kaifeng City disappeared, turning into a swirling Buddhist kingdom. 1,000 Buddhist monasteries appeared out of thin air, occupying the world and swaying endlessly. Buddhist kingdom in palm. Yelu Wuxin's voice sank. Go! Chao Gai shouted. Su Xing, Lu Xiao, and Zhao Hanyan worked together to face Li Taisui's true body cloud dream thunder pond. More than 100 flying swords glowed brightly, displaying a beautiful scene of birds and dragons, and even Zhao Hanyan's outer void flying immortals. 100 of those true immortals danced, their sleeves fluttering, their blades sharp. How could an ordinary person face this kind of scene? But Li Taisui's true body was honestly surly. When he descended worlds, he was no more than supercluster stage. After 1,000 years of cultivation, his magic energy was frightening. The immemorial thunder breath he expelled was far from comparison to any of Liangshan continent's thunder magic and was even unlike Li Taisui's previously powerful thunder magics. These immemorial thunder breaths were formed of spiritual power. Only a true body on the thunder pond's level was able to use it. As he breathed, the world was filled with Li Taisui's power, making Su Xing's group unable to move. Zhao Hanyan's face was increasingly unsightly. Several dozen true spirit sword immortals were destroyed in the blink of an eye. Li Taisui was teamed up on by Lu Xiao, Su Xing and Zhao Hanyan together, but the three of them were helpless against the old man. As the thunder pond breathed, he attacked with immemorial thunder breath. Watch this! Lu Xiao's lance stabbed. The thunder pond's blade-like tail rose high and blocked the golden Qilin lance. A thunder light flashed around Lu Xiao, blasting the jade Qilin. The thunder pond opened its mouth, and thunder light struck Lu Xiao in the chest, sending Lu Xiao flying. Su Xing activated instant frost flame, but it was completely devoured by the immemorial thunder breath. The old man's powers were incomparably strong, completely suppressing Su Xing's purple mansion immortal thunder and instant frost flame. Purple thunder monster. Cloud Dream Pond's tail swept, its thunderlight like a blade. It completely knocked aside heaven tearing, and a bolt of lightning drilled straight for Su Xing's chest. Jian feather unfolded, protecting him like wings. The ancient divine bird's clinging fire did not lose out to the thunder pond's immemorial thunder. Clinging fire and divine thunder detonated midway. Li Taisui had no interest in wasting time on Su Xing. His body warped. His speed was extremely fast, and he attacked Chai Ling Empress two-wielded dense earth chi. A screen of yellow light enveloped them, melting away the all of the divine thunder. Do not be too arrogant. Lu Xiao's golden Qilin lance stabbed. 100 rays of killing intent attacked. Killing intent fell on Li Taisui's body, yet it did not bring him any significant injury. Li Taisui flashed away again. A thunderstorm then fell on Lu Xiao's head, which the strength star blocked with her lance. Lightning sliced at the girl's slender waist like a blade. Bang, bang, bang. En route, it was destroyed by Sword Spirit True Immortals. Heavenly Immortal East approaches Sword Array. Zhao Hanyan used everything she had, forcefully using a sword array she had yet to fully develop. The remaining 60 outer void flying immortals' swords turned into 60 true immortals. They surrounding Li Taisui and then vanished. Before he could ponder what happened, rays of sword light fell from the sky, passing by like millions of shooting stars. Li Taisui took everything. Impossible. Zhao Hanyan panted. The heavenly immortal East approaches sword array was surprisingly ineffective. Last time, this old man did not kill you. This time, you have doomed yourself. Li Taisui shook. His scales and feathers stood on end. Suddenly 10,000 thunderlights shot out at the same time. Zhao Hanyan's flying swords blocked a few before being defeated. Su Xing protected her in the nick of time, using purple fiend lotus flower to finally block it. Qilin Fall Sky Flash. A flash of light fell from the lance towards Li Taisui. It struck his body, but it merely caused a small splash. This bastard is so strong. Lu Xiao was angered. Lu Xiao, calm down. Su Xing warned. The Thunder Pawn's eyes released light. Two thunderlight dragons cut lines in the air, flying swiftly. Su Xing's hands spread open, forming a double defense of Vajra protective body in the meditative mind lotus flower. Boom! Bang, bang, bang. A burst of intense explosions erupted in the air once more, spiritual power scattering in all directions. Flames fell. Su Xing's surroundings were entirely filled with scorching thunder. These thunders vanished like smoke the moment they emerged. At the same time, they devoured spiritual energy completely and fed it back to the Thunder Pond. By doing so, it seemed never-ending. This old man's true body was simply unequaled. Cloud Dream Realm, samsara in this life. The Thunder Pond opened its mouth, swallowing the world's spiritual power. An enormous vortex of thunderlight suddenly opened and then fell. Meanwhile, Dong Junqing, Hua Wanyue, Gong Sun Huang, and Yan Yizhen could only watch from the sidelines. The previous battle left them depleted of star energy. Now, even if they recovered a bit, they would be of no help at all. They could only raise their guard, try as hard as they could to not allow An Suwen's tragedy to occur again. Especially when Chai Ling was the target that Li Taisui so clearly wanted to kill. Which sister is willing to ingest this bottle of the wine, Jade Lake Moon Dew? Hua Wanyue remembered something. Her wrist flipped over, revealing a bottle of wine. The wine inside was colorless and odorless, pure as water, but it emitted a sort of magnificent light. Jade Lake Moon Dew. Rat Star Daylight Rat by Yutong had used all of her star energy to create this earth rank wine. This wine had a capability that would stir the jealousy of all star generals. It was able to instantly restore all of the star energy of a single star general, but each bottle required the little lowly to use 7 days of time to recover her own star energy. And now, we must discuss about a star general's star energy. Star energy was where a star general's battle strength was, whether it be a heaven-earth dark yellow or some ordinary fight, they all required the expenditure of star energy. If their star energy was depleted, a star general would be hard-pressed to continue. This was the one best way an earthly star could prevail over a heavenly star in battle. Star generals would sign star dual covenants for this reason, to exploit the sharing of magic energy as according to the contract. The stronger the Star Master's cultivation, the more abundant the Star General's star energy. However, Su Xing was a bit different. He had contracted with too many Star Generals. On the contrary, because all of the Star General's star energies were averaged, the star energy of Lin Yingmei and the other like her did not really increase too much at all. Although Su Xing's cultivation was greatly bolstered, this perhaps was the only thing he regretted. Of course, a Star Master's resonance could also supply their own star energy to the Star General to aid in recovery. However, the Star Master was very vulnerable while in resonance. Star energy recovery was not very fast, and the majority of time in the star duels was spent in battle. A Star Master's sudden resonance could allow a Star General's star energy to increase explosively, thereby allowing their heaven, earth, dark, and yellow attacks to be displayed at an even more frightening level. The reason this needed to be mentioned was that even if Tang Tang was completely without any martial force, so much so that she could not even beat a rat, the earth-rank wine she could brew was the unparalleled wine of Star Generals. Which sister wants to ingest it? Hua Wanyue asked. Right now, Su Xing's situation was critical. They stepped forward bravely to lend a hand. What a pity there was only one bottle of Jade Lake Moon Dew, which created a conflict. Hua Wanyue's bow and arrow were absolute. Her technique could not be defended against. Dong Junqing was a 5 Tigers great general. She also had the heaven-earth dark yellow. Against the Thunder Pond, she would be enormous help. Regardless, Yan Yizhen's boxing and body techniques were superb. Her 9 young earth rank was even more formidable. She also had great skill in defending against Li Taisui. There was also leisure star Gong Sun Huang, the number 1 in magic energy. Even that demon Qin would suffer under her phoenix execution sky break. Each of the 4 had their own unique qualities, each of them were partners any star master would pursue. Now, they united together for one single man. No wonder Liangshan continent hated Su Xing to the bone. Since master has handed the Jade Lake Moon Dew to you, slave servant shall believe in master. Yan Yizhen said directly. N. This general also agrees. Dong Junqing nodded. She saw that even Lu Xiao could only barely able to manage a stalemate. If she went, she perhaps would not be of any help. Hua Wanyue looked at them. She glanced at Gong Sun Huang. That little girl in phoenix perch red cloud clothes floated in the air. Her body glowed with bright multicolored light. Her eyes were extremely indifferent, the meaning was that she also declined. Dong Junqing, I had better give it to you. My bow and arrow perhaps cannot injure the thunder pond. Milord and I have already gone through the double sevens. Although we do not have a contract, I can sense him as long as Milord is nearby. My star energy recovery is actually very fast. Hua Wanyue said. Sisters, any further discussion, and this palace fears it will be too late. Chai Ling's tone was anxious. This palace feels it should be you, Wanyue. Your archery is outstanding. With Su Xing and Lu Xiao, teamwork at both long and close range surely can suppress Taisui. Chai Ling said to herself that if she had known she would become a burden to Su Xing, she would have convinced Kong Ho to come over as well. However, even if Kong Ho came, she probably would not lift a finger against Li Taisui. All of the girls watched. The situation had already greatly changed. The immemorial thunder breath made Su Xing and Lu Xiao cut sorry figures. Hua Wanyue could decline no longer, I understand. Saying this, she drank the Jade Lake Moon Dew. The wine entered her throat and chilled her body. Her weak body brimmed with strength in the span of a breath. The woman gracefully drew her bow, curving it back beautifully. The arrow was loosed, the pinnacle of perfection. Liked it? The 10,000 Li God-killing arrow struck Li Taisui. The spiritual power surrounding the Thunder Pawn's body became a wall, stopping the arrow, but the killing intent of Hua Wanyue's 10,000 Li God-killing arrow was honestly too powerful. Even though it did not run through the Thunder Pond, the arrow still staggered Li Taisui, stopping his attack. Li Taisui did not want to waste any time. Killing an enemy that could run was completely meaningless. Noble Star Chai Ling and Strength Star Lu Xiao were Li Taisui's targets. But these two were not so easy to handle. Chai Ling had the Earth Book's protection, and Lu Xiao's martial arts were exceptional, contending even against his true body. To kill them was not so simple. With all he had done, how was this so difficult? Li Taisui saw that Su Xing was interfering continuously, and anger was rising in his heart. That he would participate in the star duels and help the Liao Emperor was only because he wanted to return to that place in Star World known as Dream Cloud. He never cared for Liangshan continent, but this Liangshan continent was full of hindrances everywhere. This old man has not aged to the point you little brats can humiliate me as you please. Fury. Killing intent. And resolve. The Li Taisui who had lived his entire life simply had tasted too many human emotions today. The Thunder Pond's lightning twisted, wildly flashing about in the mini-Tai spherical heaven form array. Boundless lightning manifested in empty space, devouring everything. Careful. Su Xing's hands formed a hand seal. The meditative mind lotus flower blossomed, and golden lotuses appeared in empty space. Heavenly dragons, Vajras, and Azuras appeared, and the glow of a colored glass kingdom unfurled. The meditative mind lotus flower possessed the way of Mahayana Buddhism. This, colored glass treasure sign, consumed practically all of Su Xing's magic energy. Colored glass, lotus flower, saha tree. Chanting, incense, Buddhist stupa. It shook everyone. Thunderlight and the colored glass treasure sign endlessly clashed, but the supervoid peak Li Taisui's cultivation was too powerful. Su Xing was completely unable to contend. Li Taisui's whole body flickered with lightning. The Buddhist kingdom rocked. The colored glass shattered, the lotus flower wilted, the saha disintegrated, the chanting stopped, the incense vanished, and the stupa toppled. Su Xing vomited blood. All of his meridians bore the attack and were damaged. When Li Taisui saw that Su Xing was wide open, showing an enormous opening, he flashed over without any hesitation, appearing above Su Xing. The old man ferociously pounced down, turning his body into a pond to swallow and destroy Su Xing. Although the noble star and strength star were very enticing, but for a chance to kill the purple thunder monster, Taisui could hardly resist this temptation. The Buddha fed his own flesh to a hawk. Your servant is not capable of such a feat. Su Xing contrarily smiled under this difficult situation. Who was he kidding? The thunder pond chomped down, and there was no one able to stop him. Wrong. There was someone who could. A rainbow arrow shot through Su Xing's chest. This rainbow exploded, immediately forcing the thunder pond back. Its terrifying bite was completely unable to face this light. Sun-piercing heavenly rainbow. Hua Wanhua panted. She and Su Xing shared their five senses. When she realized he wanted to draw Li Taisui into a trap, she immediately charged the sun-piercing heavenly rainbow and finally caught up. She suddenly somewhat understood why this bottle of Jade Lake Moon Dew was given to her. Die. Su Xing sneered. What? A black shadow flew over. The Ghost Cavalry King once again sneak attacked, slashing with outstanding speed. The black saber chi of Ghost's God's Bane crackled, and the Thunder Pond shouted. A thunderlight blasted the Ghost Cavalry King away. The Supreme Ghost body had nearly been destroyed. This time, the Ghost Cavalry King could not get up. A petty trick. Li Taisui sneered. Aren't you getting the wrong idea? Su Xing endured the intense pain throughout his whole body and winked. Li Taisui was stunned. His back chilled. A beam of light came from behind him. When he glanced back, it was surprisingly a golden qilin. This qilin emitted a powerful divine beast's presence. Even the dream cloud Thunder Pond was endlessly reverent, not just at this kind of galaxy dragon mount character, but rather, that his was a star world holy beast in both name and reality. Upon closer inspection, it really was not an actual qilin descending into the world. Rather, it was strength star Jade Qilin Lu Junqiai raising her golden qilin lance and rushing over. The girl's eyes released golden light, and her powerful aura made her look like a true qilin. Fear. In 1,000 years, this was the first time Li Taisui felt fear. The Thunder Pond bellowed, its feather and scaled hardened, releasing spiritual power. Lu Xiao shouted. Her legs kicked, and with a bang, the earth split apart. Then, the girl leapt high up, her hands firmly gripping her lance. Golden light radiated, and the warrior's most powerful fighting spirit gathered upon it. That was power no one could possibly contend against. There was no doubt this was the earth-rank technique of the number 1 Martial General Star Maiden. Qilin descends into world. Thunder and lance clashed. Spiritual power and killing intent mixed together. The powerful force blew Su Xing and the others back. Lu Xiao was just like an enormous qilin, and her lance was like an enormous claw gripping a pitiful bug. The qilin coldly glared, looking down with arrogance and awe-inspiring might. Li Taisui screamed. The golden qilin lance finally ran through the dream cloud Thunder Pond's nearly invincible wall of spiritual power, and this blow pierced deep, straight to his heart. Such power. When Su Xing saw the Jade Qilin's earth technique, even if he was any more haughty he would feel tiny in front of her. This was the earth rank of the strength star, the strongest martial general. At this time, Yan Yizhen had already rushed to her master's side. The maid was somewhat distressed. It was a pity that An Suwen had fallen into the star nest first, otherwise, Su Xing should not have been cutting such a sorry figure. This lance attack lasted for a while. Lu Xiao's Qilin aura finally faded. All of the girls worriedly squirmed, unsure of whether or not the strength star's earth rank could dispatch Li Taisui. This old man was honestly too strong. Even Su Xing did not have certainty. All of their hopes were placed on Lu Xiao alone. Elder sister. Chai Ling's chest could not help but tighten. The Xinger in her bosom was choked out, its eyes rolling backwards into its head. Lu Xiao panted. Beads of sweat slid down her forehead. The Cloud Dream Thunder Pond had been run though without any resistance, showing no response. Is he dead? Chai Ling was delighted. Look out! Su Xing shouted. Lu Xiao was shocked. The Cloud Dream Thunder Pond opened its eyes. Lightning flashed, and Lu Xiao was flung backwards with a gasp. The Thunder Pond flashed, and before Lu Xiao landed, its tail swiped at her, leaving a gash deep enough to show bone on the girl's body. Even the golden Qilin lance had been knocked away. Thunder rolled, about to kill Lu Xiao. All of a sudden, scarlet light flashed by. Su Xing activated the chaotic tail escape, finally saving Lu Xiao the moment the lightning was about to consume her. Lu Xiao. Su Xing saw that Lu Xiao had sustained heavy injury and was extremely concerned. The other girls were also endlessly astonished. The Thunder Pond pounced along, its thunder escape abnormally fast. However, a 10,000 Li god-killing arrow shot into the Thunder Pond, knocking Li Taisui aside. Only then did the suffocating atmosphere finally dispel. What a formidable beast! Lu Xiao's whole body shuddered, not because of fear, but because Li Taisui's thunder magic was too strong. The leftover magic energy was still jolting Lu Xiao's body. If it was not for Su Xing's rescue just now, the Strength Star would have already starfall now. Even the Strength Star's earth rank is unable to kill him. Chai Ling could not believe this. Li Taisui hovered in the air. Compared to his initial unfathomable calm, the current Li Taisui actually was already very haggard. The ancient thunder over Thunder Pond's whole body was incomparably weak. Lu Xiao's lance had given Taisui heavy injury. If it was any other demon beast of Liangshan continent, it would undoubtedly have died, but the Dream Cloud Thunder Pond fortunately came from Star World. To think of killing him with an earth rank, this truly was the biggest joke in the world. Su Xing was heavily injured. Lu Xiao was heavily injured. The two most dangerous enemies were already posed no threat. Although Taisui was also heavily injured, he was fortunate this was the White Tiger territory which possessed unparalleled ancient spiritual power. The Thunder Pond absorbed the ambient spiritual energy to recover. It still possessed enough energy to kill the enemies. Purple Thunder Monster, run now. This old man shall take the Strength Star and Noble Star's lives. Li Taisui indifferently said. Old fart, it is still far too early for you to be so pleased with yourself. Chai Ling pointed her fan. All of the girls saw that Chai Ling had planned in advance, and their hearts were slightly eager. Wanyue, quickly use your Heaven-Earth Dark Yellow skill with Su Xing. This old fart will not last much longer. Chai Ling promptly said. The spirit of Hua Wanyue after using her earth rank was willing but the flesh was weak. Hearing Chai Ling's words, her head leaked sweat. How would I have a Heaven-Earth Dark Yellow with Milord? Chai Ling was shocked. Wanyue, are you serious? Hua Wanyue nodded. If she had a Heaven-Earth Dark Yellow skill, she would have long already used it. How would she ever let this old man run wild? Impossible. This palace had checked before that a star master and star general that had undergone the double sevens can comprehend the heaven-earth dark yellow. Hua Wanyue shook her head. How can this be? So long as your hearts are linked, you must be able to. Wanyue, are you hesitating about something? Chai Ling promptly asked. Hua Wanyue still shook her head, slight pain flashing past her eyes. Chai Ling was dumbstruck. Li Taisui sneered, this old man said before that he would make you regret not bringing Lin Chong along. As he said this, he spat a ray of thunder light. The earthly qi dispersed, surprisingly decreasing by more than half. Even Empress Tu's complexion was strained. Your servant does not want to make Lin Yingmei blame herself, so I will not be regretting things here. Su Xing calmly said. Very courageous. As a human, this is your final dignity. This old man is impressed. Very well, this old man shall make you personally watch them die. The Thunder Pond took a deep breath, sucking the world's spiritual energy into its mouth. With the pleasantries finished, everything would end with the next move. Black Ice Abyss. The north wind was like a blade, and the ice and snow were bone-chilling. The winding cave tunnels spiraled into the bottomless abyss. A cold wind that blew from parts unknown scraped down to even bone. In the wind, two young women were currently descending the cave's path. The deeper they went, the colder they felt. Wuxia pulled her cloak tighter around herself. Star energy protected her body, but the cold of the black ice abyss already was an abnormal level. Even the pilgrims' every step felt unbearable. Little White was already unable to continue and had been frozen into the star nest. Sio. The other was a long-haired girl, dressed in snow-white satin. The wind blew past her short skirt, revealing snow-white thighs, but compared to Wu Xiao's shivering, the girl was actually very tranquil. Lin Yingmei's hand gripped the Arctic Star Serpent Spear to withstand the cold and wind. She was much more adapted compared to Xiao. I am all right. Your humble servant can still bear this much. Wu Xiao took a deep breath and once again strode forward. Lin Yingmei's hand drew Wu Xiao into her embrace. The girl's chest was very warm. Yingmei. Wu Xiao raised her head to see Yingmei's warm gaze. Her heart melted and forgot about the cold. The panther head untied her own cloak and wrapped it around Xiao. Although this cloak was not an astral treasure, because it had been with Lin Yingmei for so long, it was very capable of warding off the cold. Yingmei, you need this more than I do. Lord Husband's 10,000-year black ice will still need you in the end. Wu Xiao clearly knew this point. Young master needs the both of us. Lin Yingmei's smile was warm and bright, like a spring breeze. Wu Xiao's heart filled with warmth. The pilgrim smiled and nevertheless wrapped herself in the cloak. In the cold wind, with each step the girls took, the temperature of their footprints melted the ice and snow. 2, not the actual one, the representation this attack summoned. Right arrow curving left 4. Wu Xiao's apparently. Black Ice Abyss, 99th floor. The deepest place in the Black Ice Abyss. There was already no wind, but the atmosphere was full of a dense ice cold that was even more intense than the previous floors. The walls were covered in thick permafrost, reflecting an ice-blue luster. These, ice spirit light stones, were one of Liangshan continent's unique stone materials. It grew in the permafrost of 0 degrees. It got its name from absorbing 5 spirits' qi and releasing it as light. The quiet cave was full of the chilly blue light of the ice spirit light stones. Wu Xiao's increasingly struggled to move. Even her breathing was already non-existent. Each breath required her to use star energy. The chill filling the air drilled straight into the pilgrim's veins. If it was not for Wu Xiao's superb star energy and extraordinary realm along with her pilgrim's array innate skill, the lowest floor of the Black Ice Abyss would perhaps already had frozen her within a few steps. Lin Yingmei still supported her. She looked at Wu Xiao's shivering purple lips and showed a concerned expression. Xiao, you had better go up. This place is too cold. Your humble servant is unimpeded. Wu Xiao said with difficulty. We must almost be at the place for the 10,000-year black ice, yes. How can your humble servant shrink away here? Then be careful, Xiao. Lin Yingmei knew Wu Xiao's personality and no longer advised her. In such an ice city of extreme cold, there were already no traces of any animal life. Even the frost-flame white wolves, ice-soul blue eyes monsters, spirit-devouring cold bees, ice-dirt giant beasts, and other demon beasts of the black ice abyss prior 90 floors that possessed powerful cold resistance were unable to live. It was obvious how severe the environment was. The chill became increasingly ice-cold. Even majestic star Lin Yingmei was feeling more and more fatigued. She tightly hugged Wu Xiao, using each other's bodies to keep warm. The two were top-notch star generals. Their star energies were like embers warming each other. After walking a long time through the passage, the ice-cold world finally opened into a wide cavern. This cavern was 10,000 mu large. The cave was filled all around with countless black ice stone fragments. These black ice already existed since ancient times, slowly condensing from the underground water of the ley line. Over tens of thousands of years, they formed into this scene. Each icicle had a concentrated, ancient presence. Just at first glance they seemed incessantly cold. This was precisely the 10,000-year black ice that Lin Yingmei was searching for. Looking carefully, she nevertheless notices that these 10,000-year black ice were not truly 10,000 years. Their age was far from sufficient. Lin Yingmei wrinkled her brow. All of a sudden, the snow-walking frost-eye beast gazed at a tunnel inside the cavern and growled. Its light wings unfolded and fired cold chi. A powerful presence came from that direction. Be careful, Yingmei. Wu Xiao tightly gripped her noble frost demonic lotus, star energy gathering over her whole body. The presence drew closer and closer. A spirit beast more than 3 meters tall emerged from the cave. This beast's whole body seemed to be wrapped in black ice. Its surface was a layer of scales like ice, lustrous and full of light. 2 gorgeous horns grew upon its head. It looked like a horse and a dragon. With each step of its hooves, the ground became permafrost. This beast's eyes were remote, a fleeting blue flame. This magnificent and graceful black ice creature far exceeded any demon beast from the 99 floors of the black ice abyss that Lin Yingmei had passed through. It was none other than the ruler of the black ice abyss last floor. Black Crystal Ice Qilin. Upon seeing 2 intruders, the black crystal ice Qilin immediately showed powerful fury. It opened its mouth, and icicles burst forth from the earth. Lin Yingmei and Wu Xiao flipped backwards, evading the icicles. Should this black crystal ice Qilin not be in hibernation? They had already researched the black ice abyss before coming here. The black crystal ice Qilin had a period of hibernation. According to their departure date, they should have arrived during that time. But at this time, the black crystal ice Qilin nevertheless was extremely infuriated. Its figure moved. Ice flames unfolded like a ribbon. Wu Xiao slowed down a bit, and her shoulder was immediately frozen, as if she had lost awareness. It is too violent, let us first subdue it. Lin Yingmei raised her spear and walked on air. Her body techniques were swift to the extreme. The 5-star destined weapon cut down the black crystal ice Qilin's ice Qilin blue flame. A spear light pierced through. Blue blood spurted from the black crystal ice Qilin's flank, freezing the ground it touched. Crying frost followed up its mistress attack with claws and a blast of cold light. Long blizzard nights. Freezing frost of 9 provinces. So as to Wu Xiao encountering greater trouble, Lin Yingmei's attacks were very fierce. The 2 techniques attacked the black crystal ice Qilin. Powerful killing intent made the black crystal ice Qilin's blue blood fly about. This Qilin appeared to have previously injured. Its powers were far from being as mighty as one that had inherited the bloodline of the Qilin. Countless ice arrows posed no threat to Lin Yingmei. Its rushing, chilly charge was also very weak. The black crystal ice Qilin's hooves stamped. A blue jewel in its forehead released a line of blue light, like a sharp sword, cutting a line through the cave. Crying Frost could not evade in time and was struck by the blue light. It painfully collapsed onto the ground, already incapacitated. Lin Yingmei's expression turned cold. Blood-splashing Mandarin duck. Wuxia exhausted all of her body's energy in one dark technique. Two deep gashes appeared on the black crystal ice Qilin's neck. Its hooves shook. Ice and flame burst out. This time, one of the pilgrim's hands was frozen. Lin Yingmei's expression turned penetrating. All of a sudden, her whole body glowed with ice-cold light, far more chilling than that black crystal ice Qilin. Her hair flowed and became frost. A speck of light fell from her spear, falling directly onto the black crystal ice Qilin's head. Earth Technique. Ice Heart seals sun and moon. The black crystal ice Qilin howled in grief and staggered. The ice over its whole body shattered, and blood flowed directly. The ice Qilin could not continue and knelt onto the ground. That pair of blue, flaming eyes nevertheless were not extinguished. It emitted a concentrated menace. Lin Yingmei walked towards it. The ice Qilin spat out an ice Qilin blue flame. The girl nonchalantly used the Arctic Star Serpent Spear to smash it to pieces. The majestic star arrived directly in front of the black crystal ice Qilin. The spear pointed directly at the black crystal ice Qilin's head. Lin Yingmei raised her hand and was just about to stab. All of a sudden, a panicked woman's voice came from another passageway. "Is it possible for the two of you to show mercy?" Lin Yingmei and Wuxia turned their heads to see two young women walk out. Palace dress as white as snow, a wonderfully swaying figure and that immaculate dignity. Inside this ice cavern, she could truly be described as a beautiful woman of ice. Her killing intent vanished, for Lin Yingmei recognized these two girls. Immortal hero Princess Gong Kaiwei and leader star resourceful strategist Zhu Sha. Ruler remonstrating plains. Qin Mingyue's sudden heaven falls earth rends made Xie Chang'an utterly shocked. This girl was truly impervious to reason, for someone who bore the name of Five Tigers' great general to surprisingly use a sneak attack. With astonishment in his heart, Xie Chang'an still immediately used his 8 legions of Naga and Deva protection. With Qin Mingyue as the center, a range of 10 li of the originally indestructible ruler remonstrating plains was already a tract of scorched earth. The powerful earth rank shook Xie Chang'an nearly to the point of death. In an instant, the 8 legions of Naga and Deva protection broke one after another. Finally, with a rumble in his ears, his eyes dimmed, and he fainted. Huyen Shuang broke off her attack, but her first thought was to go save Xie Chang'an. She rolled her double clubs and pulled the man back. She sneered, "Qin Ming, you are still so unreasonable and brainless." Heaven falls earth rends exploded, blowing Huyen Shuang's sneer away. Wu Xinjie and Hu Nyangzi were also caught up, however, because they were prepared, they were far better off than Xie Chang'an. Xie Chang'an had never imagined that fiery thunderbolt would renounce fair star duels, and contrarily use her earth rank. Wu Xinjie was very aware that the violent little girl was already unable to die another time. If she had been truly entangled with Huyen Shuang, and without a jade pendant to flee with, then Qin Mingyue would be ill-fated. So, an earth rank was the inevitable choice. But Wu Xinjie was still a bit mistaken. Qin Mingyue's club turned a 10 li radius of the ruler remonstrating plains into scorched earth. The little girl savagely smiled. "Sick Yuchi, what are you hiding for? Seize the chance to kill them already." Heaven falls earth rends terminated, but Sun Yueying's figure was nowhere to be seen. "Qin Ming, what are you bluffing?" Huyen Shuang coldly said. She shook off wind and moon unmatched. Elder sister, let us go for now. Jin Qiongyu did not dare delay. She pulled Qin Mingyue onto Ma Yuyu and immediately fled. Where did that damned sick Yuchi run off to? Qin Mingyue shouted in vexation. She had deliberately used her earth rank to give the four heavenly kings Sun Yueying a chance to loot the burning home. Wu Xinjie and Hun Yangzi also left the ruler remonstrating plains, wounded. They had nearly used their three realms immortal movement pendant, but Qin Mingyue had fortunately used her earth rank. Never expected to run into Qin Ming and Hu Yanzhua. To be able to escape is already very good. Hun Yangzi honestly said. Wu Xinji shook her head. Xinjie feels this is strange. The ruler remonstrating plains are so vast. How can 2-5 tigers just coincidentally meet like this? Elder sister's meaning is? Hun Yangzi was confused. Someone deliberately drew them into meeting us. Wu Xinjie said. Who is capable of doing such a thing? Hun Yangzi did not understand. If it was that little sister who can control all manner of beasts, then perhaps she could achieve this. Beast star Huangfu Rui. Hun Yangzi's brows were creased very deeply. 50 li away. Upon golden grass, atop an enormous golden rock. A young girl mounted a bear monster with a body covered in gems and a horn atop its head. She was dressed in glistening blue clothes, a pleated skirt of green. Her body was wrapped in light blue silk, a petite and graceful figure. She was barefooted, and her only adornments were patterned with beast motifs. The girl's purple hair was particularly beautiful, a princess style. Her fine, long hair spilled past her shoulders and was bound in a braid, neat and tidy, orderly and graceful. If it was not for the girl's embittered expression, this perhaps would be the bearing of a beautiful princess. She played a flute. This flute was carved vividly like a living beast. Its body was like a full moon, surprisingly flowing with the movement of 7 stars. The girl suddenly put the flute down, and her eyes chilled. Beast star purple beaded Count Huangfu Rui, I thought it was you. A warm and gentle voice said. Sun Yueying jumped down from the sky. Only the star beast, brown bear of gems of the beast star can excavate precious stones so easily. Do not address me with such an unpleasant name as Huangfu Rui. My true name is Yuyun, Yuyun of quiet and deep clouds, or perhaps Yuyun of peaceful flowers and moving grass. Lan Xingcao is its name. Huangfu Yuyun coldly said. Your servant is Sick Yuchi Sun Li, true name Yueying. Sun Yueying smiled. Their names were very imaginative. You sought me out for what purpose specifically? Huangfu Yuyun did not need her answer. To rob me? This death has no creativity. Little sister does not have a contract. On behalf of leader Star Song Qingzi, I would like to invite little sister Yuyun to join us. Sun Yueying said amicably. Huangfu Yuyun pondered for a moment then nodded. Leader Star Song Zhang's uprising, very interesting. I agree. But I have a request, this request is. Sun Yueying thoughtfully smiled, as if she had already guessed what was going to happen. Huangfu Yuyun played her 7-star 10,000 beast hibernating moon flute. There was no music, only a strange quaking. A golden lion was then summoned. Please die. Thank you for your cooperation. Huangfu Yueyun gracefully bowed, as if this was a curtain call. As expected. The path of righteousness never goes smoothly, huh? Sun Yueying smiled. 10. Her name's literal meaning 11. The literal meaning of her star beast's name liked it. Solitary star Tang Lianxin sat on the palace terrace, gazing into the far-off white tiger territory shrouded in mist and lightning. Her hand held an incomplete piece of black iron. Lianxin. Where is that Shi? After Shi Yuan put the sleep by Yutong inside her room to rest, she walked over. Seeing the bewildered Tang Lianxin, she then asked the question. The Wisdom Star, who was currently recuperating in the Longevity Palace, had been chatting Tang Lianxin up about everything regarding Su Xing. From how he met Lin Yingmei up to the double sevens with Hua Wanyue, the feral woman solely devoted to martial arts was apparently quite interested in gossip. She must be thinking of marrying Su Xing after giving her virginity to him, Shi Yuan indignantly thought. She, the thief star, had been with Su Xing through thick and thin. She was the third star general to sign a contract with Su Xing, yet at this point she still had not lost her virginity. Instead, the later sisters cut the line. The ranked 107th Shi Yuan gloomily wanted to bang her head against the wall when she realized she had fallen behind in even this area. She left. Tang Lianxin softly said. Shi Yuan was astonished. Isn't she still very weak right now? Where can she even go? Flea on a Drum angrily said, Su Xing already is make us too very worried, now this elder sister is causing trouble. Shi Xiu said she is very thankful that elder brother saved her. She has gone to return this favor. Tang Lianxin answered. What does that mean? Su Xing doesn't want her to pay him back. Does she think that Su Xing has an ulterior motive? Shi Yuan scoffed. Tang Lianxin shook her head. This young lady cannot wait any longer. I am going to see how Su Xing is doing. After Shi Yuan finished speaking, she turned into a black shadow and instantly left the Longevity Palace, slinking stealthily towards the boundless white tiger. Tang Lianxin stopped. Su Xing brainstormed for countermeasures, considering how to defeat Li Taisui. Now, it seemed that his only hope apparently was in a helpless method. Su Xing subconsciously glanced at the nearby girl. I will go. Lu Xiao pursed her lips and leapt backwards several steps. Do not think of kissing Xiao. Jade Qiling covered her lips, warning Su Xing with a glare. This made the latter quite hurt. Was I so obvious? Su Xing was speechless. Lu Xiao gravely nodded. You can go find the noble star if you want that. All she did along the way was drone on and on about you. Jade Qilin pointed her lance at Little Whirlwind. Chai Ling's cheeks faintly blushed. She fanned with the golden thread feather fan. Everyone was very clear in their minds. Right now, the only way they had was to sign a star dual covenant. As long as Su Xing could replenish his star energy with any one of the star generals present, facing the completely spent Li Taisui was no different than putting this divine beast from Star World onto the chopping board. If they thought of this, Su Xing's hidden trump card would make any enemy despair. But Li Taisui sneered. Purple Thunder Monster, are you preparing to sign a contract? Very well, let this old man see that art of yours that can sign an unlimited number of contracts. However, just do not die while you are signing that contract. As he said this, the Cloud Dream Thunder Pond opened his mouth and madly sucked in the White Tiger territory's ancient spiritual power. The old man that was originally about to collapse at any moment was suddenly bursting with spiritual energy. He had surprisingly restored his magic energy rapidly. This was the Cloud Dream Thunder Pond's ability. Absorbing the world's ancient spiritual energy into its own body and combining its body with the world, by doing so, the old man's magic energy was limitless, absolutely limitless. From the moment Li Taisui manifested his true body, in this ancient White Tiger territory, the old man already stood at an undefeatable realm. Thus, he was sure he could take the Noble Star and Strength Star. Everyone stared dumbstruck. They had fought for so long, Su Xing had fought for so long, yet in the end, this old man simply took one breath of spiritual power and surprisingly began to restore his magic energy. Everything before was wasted. This was the first time Su Xing had encountered such an abnormal opponent. He may as well have thrown a piece of tofu at him. He can't break the rules so badly like this, can he? Su Xing had entirely forgotten that he himself was the king of breaking the rules. Not on my watch. Hua Wanyue had recovered a bit of her star energy. She did not hesitate to draw her bow, and a second star-piercing arrow appeared on the string. "Milord, quickly sign a contract with Chai Ling," Hua Wanyue shouted. Her hand slackened. The bowstring snapped too. The star-piercing arrow emitted a brilliant starlight, vanishing into thin air. The Cloud Dream Thunder Pawn's expression became stern. Its immemorial thunder breath became a dragon. Bang! The star-piercing arrow was twisted by the thunder breath, but it disintegrated the thunder breath. The remaining force of the arrow shot straight into Taisui. The Cloud Dream Thunder Pawn let out a scream. Spiritual power poured madly into its body, making Hua Wanyue's star-piercing arrow completely harmless. How could Taisui allow Su Xing to actually sign a contract? The old man's mind was very clear that if he allowed this purple thunder monster to recover his magic energy, another long battle would ensue, the array would vanish, and everything would be ruined. The thunder breath became two flying dragons. They first flew towards Chai Ling. Su Xing bravely dashed forward to hold the thunder dragons back. After a terrifying bite, Su Xing cut an exceptionally sorry figure. The radiance of that yellow gown of coronation had also dimmed. Now, it was Su Xing's turn to be unable to last much longer. This old man finally can understand how you are able to have so many star generals follow you. Li Taisui said, a pity that the Star Master would stick his head out for his star general. That only leads to a dead end. Thunder and lightning swept. Li Taisui once again absorbed ancient spiritual power. The White Tiger territory's prehistoric atmosphere had been mostly absorbed by him, unexpectedly making millions of demon beasts feel fear in an instant. But just at this moment, the ground suddenly quaked. The crashing of water could be heard all around. Everyone was taken aback, and even Li Taisui felt this was outrageous. All of a sudden, a water sword descended from the sky into the mini-Tai spherical heaven form array's center. This was a blade massive beyond compare, as if it had been born from the world. It carried a heavy pressure that shot directly into the center of the array and then on towards the Cloud Dream Thunder Pond, all in the same attack. There was a massive noise. A blooming water flower shook everyone back, and the array exploded with a boom. The spherical heaven form array had broken. Li Taisui was shocked then furious. He glanced at the young girl who broke the miniature Tai spherical heaven form array. Yuchi has arrived. The Zhang Yuchi, whose skin was as delicate as snow, attracted attention wherever she went. The Urgency's white spirit python sprayed a wave of water towards the sky. When these water droplets landed, they appeared light, but the ground they fell on rumbled as if with the heavy power of a mountain. Weak water. Li Taisui immediately realized what had happened. Zhang Yuchi knew that her earth-rank heavenly sword could not possibly break the miniature Tai spherical heaven form array. Therefore, she specifically made the Urgency's white spirit python absorb 3,000 weak water. Because Zhang Yuchi wanted to use the weak water to augment the fish intestine sword, she fortunately knew where the 3,000 weak water was. She very easily had little white wave gulp down a lot to store in its stomach, but each droplet of the 3,000 weak water was extremely heavy. Just storing the weak water in its stomach made little white wave suffer serious injury. By the time this spray was finished, it had nearly collapsed, but for the sake of saving Su Xing from the array, Zhang Yuchi could only sacrifice her. The Cloud Dream Thunder Pond that was struck with the heavenly sword still displayed powerful pressure. Zhang Yuchi then used Wild Bee Butterfly Wave. She turned the weak water into arrows, their might formidable. The Cloud Dream Thunder Pond opened its mouth and attacked with thunder breath. Young Su, quickly make the sisters blow, oh, quickly return to the Longevity Palace. Zhang Yuchi promptly said. Run as fast as you can, this old man shall see just how many you can save. Li Taisui was furious. Damn it. This old man's plans ran very deep. So long as he could take either the Noble Star or the Strength Star, these star duels would still be Li Taisui's victory. In actuality, Li Taisui nevertheless did not realize that Hua Wanyue did not have a contract. In this way, how could Su Xing leave behind 3 women so he could run away himself? Contract. This was the only way. Su Xing glanced at the closest Chai Ling. He quickly stepped forward and came before her. But Li Taisui was extremely cunning. He first knocked Zhang Yuqi away. With the power of his thunder breath, Zhang Yuqi's water element star magic could only enhance his thunder magic's power. Defeating this girl was no longer of interest to him. Seeing Su Xing was about to sign a contract, Li Taisui thus used his own thunder escape, but not to stop Su Xing. Instead, he attacked Strength Star Lu Xiao. The old man had already seen through Su Xing's weakness. This man was a complete master of unfaithfulness. Just as expected, Su Xing embraced Chai Ling. Just as he was about to kiss her, with the queen's eyes already shut, in the middle of a sensual pose, Su Xing nevertheless saw Li Taisui go attack Lu Xiao. Su Xing could not help but use another chaotic tail escape. The chaotic tail escape speed while under heavy injury was even faster than the thunder, and he was able to rescue the powerless Lu Xiao. Li Taisui laughed. This man was quick enough to switch girls, as expected. He was trying in vain to save all of the star generals. In the words of the Azure Dragon territory, so many potential lovers, this man surprisingly wanted them all. Truly hateful. This old man even thought you were a man of ambition and ruthlessness. As it turns out, you are merely a romantic. Very good, today, this purple thunder monster must die here. Li Taisui was even more confident. The thunder escape rose. Not giving Su Xing any chance to sign a contract with Lu Xiao, the old man again attacked Chai Ling. While Su Xing hugged Lu Xiao, Xiao was somewhat flustered, fearful this man would actually force a kiss on her or the like. At this moment, if this man wanted to push her down to force, whether by passion or by reason, Lu Xiao herself could not find a reason in the bottom of her heart to refuse. The two stared at one another for a brief instant. Complex feelings flashed past Lu Xiao's eyes. However, Su Xing did not have even the strength to lower his head right now. An activation of the chaotic tail escape like this already completely relied on his willpower to sustain it. The other girls wanted to help Su Xing, but the pervasive thunder breath left them only able to watch helplessly. Purple Thunder Monster, today, on behalf of Liangshan Continent, this old man shall rid these star duels of the scourge that is you. He saw that Su Xing had finally ran out of energy. The Cloud Dream Thunder Pawns lightning charged. Powerful immemorial breath completely fell, full of enough force to turn Su Xing into slag. Su Xing weakly formed a hand seal, to use his gown of coronation to counterattack. When Lu Xiao saw Su Xing's heroic spirit, her heart felt distress. It was very difficult for Su Xing to sign a contract with her, but it was much simpler for the Jade Qilin to sign a contract with this man. Lu Xiao bit open her lip when suddenly at this moment, the figure of a phoenix flew in front of Su Xing, completely destroying the incoming immemorial thunder breath. If you describe him as a scourge to Maiden Mountain, then your humble servant could not agree with you more. A voice filled with a heroic spirit that reached the clouds broke through the haze. Everyone was astonished. The one who appeared in front of Su Xing was none other than Wisdom Star Daredevil third brother Shi Xiu. Shi Xiu wore a forthcoming smile and said to Su Xing, "You saved your humble servant's life, so your humble servant shall repay you with this life." Just you alone, Daredevil third brother? Have you forgotten how many times this old man let you go? Li Taisui sneered. Shi Xiu nodded. Your humble servant is very grateful to Zijin, so this time, your humble servant shall use the title of Daredevil third brother to repay senior. Shi Xiu bowed, respectfully displaying the warrior's etiquette. 3. The very same phrase as the 3,000 weak water above. Xiu, what are you doing? Su Xing suddenly had a bad feeling. Shi Xiuxiu did not answer. She merely smiled and brought out the 7 colors goose feather saber. Li Taisui felt this was ridiculous. Daredevil Third Brother's martial arts were indeed exceptional, but he originally could make even young Zijin swear fealty to him, let alone this Daredevil Third Brother who was only good at martial arts. Very good, seeing as how you do not have a contract, then this old man shall take you as well. Taisui opened his mouth. Roaring lightning pierced the heavens. Shi Xiuxiu breathed calmly. At this moment, everyone finally noticed that Shi Xiuxiu's body burned with a bright flame. The Shi Xiuxiu who should have been debilitated from losing her virginity was actually uncharacteristically powerful. Not only did she not show any sign of weakness, on the contrary, she was full of a kind of unprecedented aura of power. This kind of presence stunned even Lu Xiao. The burning flames made Shi Xiuxiu fall into an absolutely beautiful place. A true phoenix was faintly visible upon her. True phoenix realm, Lu Xiao gasped. Stop this now. Su Xing urgently shouted. He already discerned the reason for Shi Xiuxiu's abnormal state, all out. Shi Xiuxiu was currently activating her innate skill on an unprecedented level. True to her name as Daredevil Third Brother, Shi Xiuxiu lightly jumped, and her saber cut down the thunder breath. The true Phoenix Realm warrior's martial arts were already at an all-new level. Every one of her movements was of supreme quality, as if made by heaven itself, completely flawless. Even Li Taisui was shocked. Nevertheless, the Cloud Dream Thunder Pond wielded its own powers at an opportune time, madly absorbing spiritual power, wildly releasing thunder breath. Shi Xiuxiu instantly closed the distance, her swordsmanship cutting red lines, her killing intent piercing the clouds and splitting stone as she fought the thunder breath. Even the Cloud Dream Thunder Pond that strength star Lu Xiao was unable to face head-on was being easily suppressed by Shi Xiuxiu. The old man used everything he had, wielding the strongest thunder magic in all of Liangshan continent to its limit. Thunder pythons, thunder swords and blades, lightning, he put all his spiritual power to use, spurring his thunder on. Shi Xiuxiu unleashed her feral instincts. Each of her slashes revealed the fluid martial arts of a true phoenix warrior. She somersaulted up and down, forcing Li Taisui back step by step. An overwhelming courage finally made the extremely shrewd old man feel dread and panic. Shi Xiu, are you thinking of taking this old man down with you? Is Senior cowering away? Shi Xiuxiu asked back. The 7 colors goose feather saber unleashed a dark rank technique, leaving a frightening wound upon the Cloud Dream Thunder Pond's body. Spiritual power burst forth to quickly heal the wound, but several other attacks quickly followed suit. Fool, you would surprisingly do such a thing for a man completely unrelated to you. Because of fear, Li Taisui began to shrink back. This is not for him, rather, this is for Maiden Mountain sisters. What nonsense is this? Senior, look clearly. Shi Xiu. The lightning covering the Cloud Dream Thunder Pond's whole body formed an immense black hole, Cloud Dream Realm, devour all things. This time, the old man finally used an ability that debilitated his own cultivation. That black hole was like the maw of a beast, attempting to devour Shi Xiuxiu. It was unimaginable that this old surprisingly still had one last trick up his sleeve. Perhaps he had prepared it specifically for if Su Xing signed a contract. But at this time, Li Taisui already was forced to use it on Shi Xiuxiu's all out. This time, the old man truly cut a sorry figure. Shi Xiuxiu's whole body was brilliantly beautiful. That figure like a phoenix dancing through the 9 heavens would enthrall anyone, regardless of the strongest martial general Lu Xiao or Su Xing. Saber chi poured swiftly out of her saber tip, cutting the world in a flash. The saber chi wove into a net of killing intent in midair, catching Li Taisui like a moth in a net. Li Taisui's expression changed. The Cloud Dream Realm, devour all things converted ambient spiritual power into most powerful killing intent, but it was surprisingly unable to devour Shi Xiuxiu's saber chi net. Was this the power of a true Phoenix Realm martial general? The corner of Shi Xiuxiu's lips curled, and a wild smile blossomed. Then, her figure warped, and the 7 colors goose feather saber hacked straight at the old man. Dark rank saber technique. Heavenly punishment, earthly destruction. Shi Xiu shouted. All out already burned at its climax. The true Phoenix Realm was unfathomable, her saber chi cutting the world, shredding Li Taisui's abilities. The trapped Li Taisui had no way to withstand this. He watched helplessly as her killing intent descended upon his whole body. Lightning exploded, and spiritual power writhed. The Cloud Dream Thunder Pond continuously absorbed the ambient spiritual power to recover his injuries, but Shi Xiuxiu's Earth rank attack was extremely powerful. Then, the true Phoenix Realm warrior's attack was swift as flowing water, dazzling. Ray after intersecting ray of saber chi flashed onto the Cloud Dream Thunder Pond's body. The speed of her slashes was already completely beyond the absorption speed of the old man. Not long after, at last, the Cloud Dream Thunder Pond's absorption stance thoroughly disappeared. In midair, the Cloud Dream Thunder Pond's body was full of wounds, already devoid of any spiritual power. Shi Xiuxiu finally sheathed her saber. Impossible, impossible, this old man will die in this world, the Cloud Dream Pond, Cloud Dream, this old man will not be able to go back. He took one last breath. Zijin, save me. Li Taisui's breathing stopped. In the sky, a final brilliant crimson star suddenly fell. Xiu. Everyone stepped forward, sorrowfully looking at the woman who converted her own life force into the pinnacle of martial arts. Any words were already meaningless. Shi Xiuxiu looked back, gazing at the sisters. Shi Xiu, Shao still has not fought about with you. Are you thinking of running first? Su Xing, quickly sign a contract with her, Lu Xiao said gruffly. Your humble servant was really looking forward to a battle with the strongest elder sister. Shi Xiuxiu slightly smiled. Her gaze finally fell upon Su Xing. There is no need for you to feel guilt. This is the best ending for your humble servant. Her life force was dissipating bit by bit. The girl's body was gradually turning transparent. No contract could possibly save her from this consequence. But Shi Xiuxiu was not afraid at all. On the contrary, she stared at Su Xing with exceptional satisfaction. Your humble servant has heard all about you from Tang Lianqin. Your humble servant has never admired any man, but you are the only one. She said if you can climb up Maiden Mountain, then your humble servant shall accompany you then. No one knew for sure just what Maiden Mountain was, nor what became of Starfall and Star Maidens. Everything was unknown, but at this moment, this was little comfort. I will come to pick you up. Su Xing solemnly promised. Glancing profoundly at Su Xing, as if she wanted to commit him to memory, she wore a final feral smile and then looked up to the crimson star in the sky above. Finally, the burning stopped. In the sky, the crimson star representing the wisdom star vanished. All of the girls wiped their tears while Su Xing was speechless. Kai Wei, did you say that the White Tiger Demon Kin have already taken the 10,000-year black ice? At the black ice abyss, Lin Yingmei watched Gong Kai Wei tend to the black crystal ice Qilan's wounds, posing the questing to her. Only after hearing Gong Caiwei's words did she finally realize the reason they had not seen a piece of 10,000-year black ice. As it turned out, the White Tiger 7 spirit stars had already been here. It was no wonder. How could that Han Bing of the White Tiger 7 spirit stars let this place go? The previous black crystal ice Qilan that guarded the black ice abyss had already been slain by Han Bing, and this one was merely a child. This was the same as the information that they had researched. How could a hibernating black crystal ice Qilan ever emerge, let alone one so weak? It did not have the manner of one of Liangshan continent's strongest demon beasts. The black crystal ice Qilan's guard was completely down, whimpering as Gong Kai Wei treated her wounds. The girl showed a smile and stroked the ice Qilan's head. Seeing this gesture, Lin Yingmei and Wuxia smiled at one another. It seemed this trip was not futile. Huangfu Yuyun stared in shock as her 5th Earth-rank summoned Star River Qilin was slain by Sun Yueying, who attacked with both spear and club in the Earth rank, instant flourish and decay past hand. Her 5 Earth ranks were completely defeated, and at this time, the earthly star's strongest heavenly king Sik Yuchi was covered in bruises, as if she was somewhat unable to continue. These were 5 of the strongest star beasts that would have given even the strength star trouble, yet Sun Yueying did not run. Instead, she fought with all her might. You clearly had a chance to kill me. Why did you not? Huangfu Yuyun knew that Sun Yueying had closed the distance several times, but she did not deal any finishing blows. Do you think this will make me listen to your words? The girl played her flute. Teleportation arrays once again formed, and another several dozen star beasts were summoned from Evil Smiting Hall. Although they were not top-notch martial general star beasts, they were fully capable of killing Sun Yueying. You are my little sister, not an enemy. Sun Yueying panted. Huangfu Yuyun was shaken, having sustained an unprecedented blow. This type of warmth was complex and unfamiliar to the remote Huangfu Yuyun. Then die. Huangfu Yuyun sorrowfully launched an attack. From a faraway corner, Wu Xinjie and Hun Yangzi silently watched everything. Heaven Earth Dark Yellow, View of Buddhist Kingdom. Chao Wuhui's Heaven Earth Dark Yellow Thousand Buddha Pagoda activated and broke the Liao Emperor's magic weapons, directly entering the array. Yelu Wuxin, do you think you can destroy the star duels with this much? You have dug your own grave. Chao Wuhui said in a low voice. Is that so? Then how about if this king does this? Yelu Wuxin waved her hand, sending that book into the array. The yellow court book shimmered with light. Only now did Thousand Buddha Star Chao Gai finally get a clear look at this book's name. Chao Gai was shaken. Heavenly Book. 3 heavenly books, you surprisingly have one of the 3 heavenly books. Chao Gai's complexion changed. If this is the case, Chao Gai, do you still believe that this king is unable to destroy star duels? Then let this king test your conclusion. Yelu Wuxin laughed freely at the sky. Chao Gai had a ill feeling of foreboding. She quickly moved to stop her, but she was already too late. The heavenly book rose, glowing with brilliant light. The heavenly sacrifice pagoda's heaven-reaching light immediately shot into the clouds and vanished from sight. This is not good. Chao Wuhui's expression was extremely unsightly. The heaven-earth dark yellow thousand pagoda flashed and also easily sucked in the Yelu Wuxin who had lost her heavenly book. She gazed at Maiden Mountain, but just as she was about to rush over, she spotted Su Xing gritting her teeth. She was unable to say anything to the wisdom star who had exhausted her life force, and her figure vanished. Maiden Mountain. The Maiden Mountain out of reach of people. In actuality, it was no different from any other mountain. Aside from its height that reached into the clouds and its unsurmountable summit, there was also an invisible barrier that prevented intrusion by any cultivators. Legend said that only a star master and star general that were recognized could enter. And in the 100-li vicinity of Maiden Mountain was a paradise of birdsong and fragrant flowers. Owing its name to its reputation, it contrarily had many scattered villages upon it. On this day, the villagers of Seven Worthies village suddenly discovered several light fly out from the nearby Seven Worthies bamboo grove. The depths of the Seven Worthies bamboo grove was considered to be within Maiden Mountain, so when the villagers saw this phenomenon, they lowered their heads and prayed. For lights rose into the 9 firmaments. Inside the lights were 4 women, one dressed in fish-patterned armor and draped in a large phoenix robe. She was tall and slender in figure, and with her narrow eyes, she seemed to be always smiling. One was dressed in a dark blue tunic and a long skirt. She wore no undergarment to cover her lofty chest, of which half was exposed, an erotic sight. Her right leg had a black see-through dragon-patterned stocking while her left leg was as white as snow. White and black, the contrast was quite alluring. Her clothes were like two pieces of different fabric, completely highlighting the girl's mature and beautiful figure, and extraordinarily beautiful at that. The woman had crimson eyes, and her hair was tied in loops. Around her were countless white dragon phantoms darting back and forth, sticking together. The third woman was dressed in simple and unadorned Buddhist clothing with her hair tied in a braid. She carried a string of prayer beads. Her right hand gripped a spirit beast, Great Wisdom King Peacock, while her left-hand arm was bound in shackles. She faintly emitted the bloody scent of a demon. Compared to the previous three beauties, the fourth was very plain. Her figure was slender, even somewhat frail. She wore a wide skirt, and an enormous bow and arrow was upon her back. Her upper body was dressed in black skin-tight clothing, outlining her flat chest. That immemorial Liao Emperor is surprisingly still alive. How truly troublesome. The pretty and mature woman who was like a ripe fruit licked her lips. Let us finish them off then. The flat-chested woman giggled. Amateus. The Buddhist woman took a big bite out of the Wisdom King Peacock's flesh, washing it down with a swig of wine. The narrow-eyed, benevolently smiling woman gazed into the distance. Suddenly, she drew a broadsword of magnificent essence steel out from thin air. Her finger traced the talisman script upon the sword, and the tip of her finger was cut open by the blade's edge. A droplet of blood flowed the sword's edge onto the script, making the blade flash a blood-colored light. The woman smiled and said, "Flip open the last page of the Star Duels. Allow me to write upon the last page on behalf of Her Highness, the Star Duels end this generation." The blood-colored swordlight passed. Maiden Mountain's unbreakable barrier suddenly tore open. An indistinct, mysterious woman that would cause people to only revere her slowly strolled down from Maiden Mountain's main court. 3. Another name for Amitabha apparently. The Battle of the White Tiger's Kaifeng exceeded everyone's expectations. The strongest star duel in the 9th generation had thoroughly collapsed the White Tiger 7 spirit stars. The transformed divine beast from Star World, Cloud Dream Thunder Pond Li Taisui, fell in this battle. To say this was a victory, from an outsider's perspective, the Purple Thunder monster was able to disintegrate the power of the White Tiger Territory Star Masters without the 4 great star generals Lin Chong, Wu Song, Wu Yong, and Hu Sanyao. It was more apt to say this was a decisive victory. 5 stars fell in succession in the White Tiger Territory, and 1 star was lost. This star duel would someday inevitably become another terrifying legend of Liangshan Continent's Purple Thunder monster. But as of this moment, Bright Moon Longevity Palace. The victor was nevertheless not the least bit happy, and Su Xing did not feel he had won at all. On the contrary, since he had come to Liangshan Continent and passed through Stone Tablet City, 5 Poisons Mountain and the Dragon Palace Banquet, this was the first time he felt truly defeated. 10,000-year black ice. Shi Yuan was currently inspecting their spoils from the White Tiger Territory. It was a pity that whether or not Li Taisui was supremely self-confident in his own power or the White Tiger Territory was actually very deficient, his astral stone contained nothing amazing aside from his Cloud Dream Fan. When she saw Han Bing's astral stone, she discovered a birth treasure outline and a twin stars button. Then, Shi Yuan used her divine intent to scan the stone and suddenly froze, nearly fainting. When she returned to her senses, she discovered these were surprisingly the 10,000-year black ice that Lin Yingmei and Wuxia had already gone in search of. How were these 10,000-year black ice on this snow woman? She did not seem to have used them. Shi Yuan felt this was their sole gain from the White Tiger Territory. Perhaps this could cheer Su Xing up, so she ran in great spirits towards the Longevity Courtyard and bumped into the exiting Tang Lianqin. Elder sister, this young lady found these. Now, Su Xing's water element flying swords can be forged, Be careful, these 10,000-year black ice have intense cold. Tang Lianqin wrinkled her brow. As the #1 master in tool refinement, she was considered to have seen the might of the legendary 10,000-year black ice. Just a scan with using divine intent had a kind of brain-freezing pain. To refine this kind of terrifying flying sword, it was obvious she was somewhat worried. That Han Bing was originally refining these 10,000-year black ice. For the time being, we cannot give them to elder brother. Leave them with me for now. Tang Lianxin said. She looked at the struggling figure in the courtyard. Elder brother and elder sisters are sparring. Their star energy has been greatly depleted. Right now is not a suitable time for forging. Oh, this young lady knows. Is Su Xing alright? Shi Yuan then asked. Tang Lianxin shook her head. The golden Qilin lance and the 7 colors goose feather saber splashed sparks. Lu Zhao's body techniques were fast, each attack powerful, the pinnacle of perfection. Whenever she attacked, the jade Qilin could also raise a defensive formation at any time. Regardless of attack or defense, she was undefeatable. Sparring with Lu Xiao was Su Xing, who handled Shi Xiuxiu's 7 colors goose feather saber, demonstrating martial arts that did not lose out to a martial general. Compared to the perfection of the golden Qilin's attacks, Su Xing's swordsmanship was desperate. Each time, he rode along the edge of danger, giving Lu Xiao no small measure of trouble. Lu Xiao watched Su Xing's flurry of attacks and recalled Daredevil third brother. A seemingly all-out swordsmanship. He was placing himself in the middle of danger to put the enemy in danger at the same time. But, from Lu Xiao's perspective, this was nevertheless not very comfortable. Shi Xiuxiu was worthy of Xiao'er's respect, but Su Xing, swordsmanship to conquer an impasse is but a mistake. The strength star's eyes chilled, and she suddenly revolted. Her lance spun, breaking apart the 7 colors goose feather saber's pressure. From Su Xing's concentrated attacks, he showed a gap. Following this gap, she stabbed at Su Xing's neck. Su Xing's expression concentrated. He used light smoke dance steps. The lance brushed past his neck, and flinging his right hand, a wolf-like saber chi rushed out. This was the earth technique Wolf Howl's 10,000 li. Lu Xiao pursed her lips. She retracted the lance, and unleashed killing intent from her weapon. The girl hovered for a brief moment, leapt past Su Xing and avoided the Wolf Howl's 10,000 li, her lance pricking Su Xing in the back. Your martial arts are progressing very quickly, as expected of the battle doctrine innate talent. Lu Xiao put away her weapon and nodded in acknowledgement. But you are still somewhat impulsive. Against other martial generals, all out is definitely unwise. Saying these last few words, Jade Qilin's tone clearly softened. Su Xing said, I know. But you are Lu Xiao. I thought that all out probably would unleash our martial arts. Su Xing smiled. Are you really fine? Lu Xiao sternly asked. She felt that allowing Shi Xiuxiu and Li Taisui take each other out probably was a rough blow to this man's feelings. After all, that last promise to meet again at Maiden Mountain was profound. You don't need to worry. Xiuxiu turned her life force into a martial art. I honor her. Dong Junqing and the other girls were all spectating from the side. Ever since Shi Xiuxiu had turned her life into her strongest martial art, Su Xing intensified his own martial arts training. They knew that this matter was a very serious shock to Su Xing, who always wanted to protect the people at his side. Although his mood was somewhat depressed, he fortunately was not lost. It was a very good thing that he was not drunk, for the pilgrim was not here to influence him. Su Xing put all of his negative feelings into sparring. This was considered a sort of consolation, and Lu Xiao found she was not very accustomed to Su Xing's swordsmanship. Is this not somewhat extreme for him? Dong Junqing asked Zhao Hanyan. In that battle with Li Taisui, the Ling Yan princess suffered the same as Su Xing owing to their intertwined branches. Her injuries were even more severe than Su Xing's. Presently, she was still recuperating in the Longevity Palace. That Shi Xiuxiu does not have any relationship with him, right? It was just one-time sex. Dong Junqing actually did not understand Su Xing's mind too much. On the contrary, the steadfast star was somewhat envious of daredevil third brother Shi Xiu. She was able to exit the stage of the star duels with her most powerful martial art in such stunning fashion, in addition to defeating the enemy that even the strength star could not. Was there any other way for this kind of star general to return proudly to Maiden Mountain? What a pity that this general does not have all out. Otherwise, under those circumstances, she also would not have hesitated to do so. To be able to leave behind an inerasable heroic battle for Su Xing, she could truly die without regrets. About those things between a man and woman, Zhao Hanyan did not know how to answer. She hesitated, then said, "In short, we have been thoroughly defeated this time." To Su Xing, defeat does not mean much, but to let the women at his side use their lives to avert this loss was too great a sacrifice. Oh, this really is quite wretched. Dong Junqing pondered. Princess Highness, tonight, let us console him nice and well. This general may as well let him ride. When she previously made love to Su Xing together with the knowledge star always urged her to take on horse riding position. But Dong Junqing was a five tigers general, one who loved to conquer sisters. How could she be willing to let anyone else see this kind of position where she was conquered by a man from behind? Zhao Hanyan was a princess, and she was embarrassed to have used such a difficult position with Dong Junqing in front of his other wives. So the Wu Xinjie who was being rode upon never gave up this task. She had even persuaded Lin Yingmei, so she was convinced that she could also win over these two girls. For this general and Princess Highness to treat him so well, he should be satisfied. Dong Junqing chuckled. Zhao Hanyan blushed and rebuked Dong Junqing in a low voice for her glibness. Could it be that princess is dumping him? Dong Junqing said lewdly. This kind of thing, we can discuss later, but absolutely not tonight. Zhao Hanyan was very firm. Dong Junqing did not understand. In fact, Su Xing practicing yin-yang lovemaking dual cultivation could only benefit them. They could both make love, heal injuries and bolster star energy all at once. For such a pleasurable thing, Dong Junqing wanted to do this every day. Tonight, someone will comfort him. Zhao Hanyan turned her head and gazed down a corridor of the palace. Who else? Who, ha? Of the girls here, only the two of them had become Su Xing's wives. Dong Junqing was a bit lost and followed Zhao Hanyan's gaze, wanting to know who would be the early bird that caught the worm. She spotted Gongsun Huang. No way, even if she is an elder sister, we still do not know if she is completely mature. Dong Junqing was shaken. Zhao Hanyan was speechless. She loves Su Xing even more than we do. Gongsun Huang caught on to Dong Junqing's gaze. The little girl blinked and looked curiously behind herself. There was a graceful, beautiful woman. Dong Junqing finally understood the meaning of Zhao Hanyan's words. After night fell, a full moon sprinkled moonlight onto the bright moon longevity palace. It was not the same as Liangshan continent's moonlight. This moonlight was unique only to the bright moon longevity palace. Under the glow of the moonlight, the longevity palace was peaceful, quiet enough to bring people into a dream. Su Xing meditated below the longevity stele, cultivating the demonic pellet he obtained from the purple-scaled magic cloud dragon. With this powerful demonic pellet, the purple star transforming chi that should have taken several decades to cultivate to its peak had reached its highest realm. Purple cloud east approaches was imminent. At this time, the other girls had long already returned to their own rooms to rest. The longevity steel courtyard was completely empty. A graceful woman walked quietly before Su Xing and sat next to him, not saying anything. A long while after, the longevity courtyard finally had a scorching hot breath. Wanyue, still not asleep? Su Xing opened his eyes and stopped cultivating. He smiled tenderly at the woman. Hua Wanyue had changed clothes. She was in simple silken robes, and her long black hair was tied up. She seemed like an immortal. I understand why I could not link my heart with milord's. Hua Wanyue said and brought out a short arrow. What I worried most was that you would be too stubborn, Wanyue. Linking our hearts isn't important, not everything needs to be perfect. That is a vase, not you, Wanyue. Su Xing hugged Hua Wanyue. Any other of the wives would have very naturally reclined against Su Xing's shoulder now. But Hua Wanyue hesitated. She did not move and gently said, "But I am like this arrow. If the inside is empty, there can be no way at all to link. Then this arrow will break when fired." Her fingers pinched, and that arrow broke open with a crack. Su Xing hesitated and suddenly remembered Jiang Shueishue's prophecy. Broken arrow beauty. Wanyue, if you're thinking about this, then I'll force a contract on you right now. Su Xing sternly said. Hua Wanyue's pale face blushed slightly. The woman elegantly used her fingers to move aside a lock of hair on her chest. She slowly said, "If I may be so bold, I have something I would like to request milord. If you want to use a request, then I won't help you." Su Xing shook his head. Hua Wanyue smiled. She stared at Su Xing, and a while after, she finally spoke. "I want to become your wife. In other words, doggy style." Su Xing was stunned at first. Then, he softly asked, "What brought this on?" "If it's guilt, milord, you are thinking too much. I know that guilty feelings are not reliable at all." Hua Wanyue smiled and said. Su Xing was even more confused by Hua Wanyue's intentions. After the double sevens, we should have already had a heaven-earth dark yellow skill. To possess a heaven-earth dark yellow is the lifetime greatest honor of a star general and star master. How can I not be moved? Don't tell me you have to become my wife in order to have a heaven-earth dark yellow. Su Xing felt this sounded very uncomfortable. "Milord, you must realize why I am unable to link my heart to yours." Hua Wanyue asked back. Su Xing was honestly not clear on this. Things like emotions could not be forced. Just like he said before, a person's life could not possibly be smooth sailing. That was something the male lead in a movie could do, it was impossible for him to handle everything perfectly. That was something only a god or a psycho could achieve. "If you don't mind, I believe there will be a day when we can link hearts." Su Xing answered with confidence. Hua Wanyue nodded, not negating Su Xing's response, but hero star Little Li Guang still had her own answer. "I thought over Chai Ling's question. The reason lays with me." Pausing, Hua Wanyue continued to speak, her voice gentle as a trickling stream, seeping into his heart. "All along I was unable to dispel the resentment for the behavior milord directed to me that night. Even if you are my lord, Su Xing, I was unable to dispel that. What could be this serious?" Su Xing broke into a cold sweat. Seeing the resentment in Hua Wanyue's eyes, he immediately recalled the incident in question, when he was making love to Ing Mei. Hua Wanyue had inadvertently barged in, and then she was struck in the face by that. If he thought carefully, that was indeed something that would anger humans and gods alike. Hua Wanyue, the hero star, the ranked 10th graceful heavenly star. Every smile and gesture, every word and action were flawlessly honorable in every way. But to be profaned in the face by a man with whom she shared no relationship with, she nevertheless surprisingly did not kill the offender. Any star general, no, not even just a star general, even the most ordinary girl of Liangshan continent would perhaps have ended him when encountering such a thing. This meant that what Su Xing did to Hua Wanyue was indeed unforgivable. No wonder the woman was unable to dispel her negative feelings. No woman could treat this lightly, particularly for the conservative Liangshan continent that treated the body as sacred. This was practically an insult that defied natural order. "So you want to become my wife? By doing so, if we become husband and wife, you won't mind what I do to you, no matter what. Not even those night things. Su Xing carefully said. Hua Wanyue's ears burned, cursing inwardly that this man spoke too shamelessly. The hero star grunted and nodded. A tacit approval of Su Xing's words. Imagining the noble Hua Wanyue pandering to sex, allowing him to do as he pleased, Su Xing's heart pounded. He hastily shook his head to clear his shameless thoughts. I really hope you can be my wife, Wanyue, but I don't want you to agree just because of this. The man was somewhat contradictory. Wanyue, are you truly willing to marry me? Su Xing stared at Hua Wanyue, seriously asking. Hua Wanyue nodded. She had already finished preparing before coming here, but when Su Xing said those words, the calm she maintained up until now immediately became restless. Wanyue is willing to become milord's wife. I, Su Xing, swear upon the heavens, to take you as my wife, Hua Wanyue. If in this life I turn my back on you, Hua Wanyue used her hand to stop Su Xing's following words. How could she ever allow her lord to utter a curse like that? Having said out loud the biggest worry on their minds, they greatly relaxed in an instant. The two of them stared at each other in silence. Milord, what are you looking at? Hua Wanyue fidgeted with her hair, her movements graceful and a bit alluring. There was no need to reply. Su Xing kissed Hua Wanyue's lips. The woman's lips were soft, like rose petals. Her rose fragrance soaked into their deep kiss. Su Xing kissed softly, afraid to destroy her elegance. He used his hand to gently caress Hua Wanyue's glossy and delicate white face. Her cheeks felt somewhat burning. Hua Wanyue closed her eyes, allowing Su Xing to do as he wished. The hand stroking her face was exceptionally gentle, brushing just like a feather. This was the first time Hua Wanyue had been touched like this by a man. A kind of peculiar feeling transmitted over her whole body. Hua Wanyue used a gap between his kisses to bashfully whisper, I checked, those who have gone through the double sevens, will not have their star nest destroyed. The star nest will not be destroyed. Su Xing stared blankly. I am your wife, how could I deceive milord? As she said those words, Hua Wanyue only felt that thudding in her chest about to burst out. Su Xing was wild with joy. How could he not understand Hua Wanyue's meaning? Su Xing embraced Hua Wanyue. The hero star's heart shuddered, and then she extended her arms to rail around Su Xing's wide and robust body. A young woman's scent entered his nostrils, and the two continued to kiss. Hua Wanyue could not last under this provocation. She felt increasingly dizzy, and her body became increasingly hot. Her red lips parted, welcoming in Su Xing's tongue. She wrapped her snow-white arms around his neck, and Su Xing drew in Hua Wanyue's tender tongue. Su Xing skillfully guided Hua Wanyue through her first time, making the woman gradually enchanted, burning from head to toe. Seeing the hero star's beautiful face become an alluring pink, her breathing rapid, Su Xing gazed at her. Under the moonlight, Hua Wanyue's clothes were half undone. A moon-white chest, spilling black hair fully exhibited her charm clearly. Her jade body lay against Su Xing's chest, her scent winding around his nose. Her clothes fell. Hua Wanyue sat upon Su Xing's thighs without losing her gracefulness, burying the man's face into her stifling hot breasts. Panting filled the quiet atmosphere, filled it with something dubious. The hero star's cheeks were a drunken red. Her beautiful half-closed eyes were somewhat hazy, gazing at Su Xing with a particular yearning. Her white trousers were removed. Her similarly simple and elegant white underwear also fell away. Hua Wanyue felt her but be gripped by a pair of ice-cold hands, and then something hot entered her. Wife. Su Xing already grasped Hua Wanyue's butt and looked at her embarrassed expression. Hua Wanyue knew what would happen next. Milord, Lord Husband, I want to become your wife. Please, Lord Husband, do not take pity on me. Hua Wanyue gently lowered herself. Her hands pressed against Su Xing's shoulders, her brows tightly wrinkled, but Hua Wanyue did not shrink back at all, always staring longingly at Su Xing. When two wrapped tightly around each other, Hua Wanyue still maintained her grace as she handed her life to this man in front of her. She wanted to become one of this man's arms. Even if everyone was to leave him, she, the hero star Hua Wanyue, would gracefully stand at his side. There was no need for him to worry. At his most dangerous time, she would step forth. Bright moon courtyard, under the moonlight. The most beautiful grace of Hua Wanyue in this life was seen by the one person in front of her. At the same time, a new crimson star appeared in the sky. Where did Su Xing go? Why isn't he in his room? Can it be, he's been taken by that princess and pervert elder sister again? Shi Yuan slinked out of Su Xing's room. Having not found Su Xing, she was quite gloomy. She felt that Su Xing's mood was somewhat down, that he needed someone to console him. With Lin Yingmei and Wu Xinjie gone, Shi Yuan, as his third star general, felt this was the moment she could finally shine. Although Su Xing did not want her body, they fortunately were intimate with each other in Evil Smiting Hall. Shi Yuan was quite fond of that sensation. Tonight, this was her chance to properly console Su Xing. The secret manual to sex this young lady stole long ago will definitely make Su Xing reach the highest climax. But it was a pity that if he was hooking up with Dong Junqing right now, then Shi Yuan back off. This vile slut truly brought shame upon the name of 5 Tigers generals. Unwittingly, Shi Yuan walked out of the palace and suddenly heard shallow moans come from the direction of the courtyard. Those moans were so beautiful, surpassing the most beautiful sounds of nature. Each shallow moan was full of a concentrated love. There was only limitless ecstasy. Just listening made Shi Yuan somewhat unable to bear it. No way. That slut elder sister can surprisingly make some nice noises. No wonder Su Xing would be so taken in. Then, she snuck over, cautiously drawing near the courtyard. The thief star's hiding techniques were brilliant. Those two did not notice. A woman sat on top of Su Xing, bouncing up and down without stop. That woman's figure was wonderful, highlighting her heaven-gifted grace. Her breasts were moderately sized, her clothes already fallen in a heap on the ground. Upon her snow-white thighs hung underwear that had yet to be taken off. Her black hair cascaded, covering the woman's face. But each motion of that woman was so graceful. Even Shi Yuan had some urges watching. Following one intense bounce, her black hair fluttered and revealed the woman's beautiful and dignified face. Shi Yuan was shocked and nearly shrieked. Hua Wanyue. MMH. A hand timely covered Shi Yuan's lips to avoid destroying this beautiful scene under the moon. Shi Yuan turned to look and saw Dong Junqing's smiling face. Besides her, there was also Zhao Hanyan, Gong Sun Huang, Lu Xiao, Chai Ling and the other elder sisters. They made a shushing gesture at her. Shi Yuan nodded. As it turned out, they already knew this would happen. Boo-hoo, this young lady honestly is too naive. Early morning. Su Xing walked out of the main hall in high spirits and came to the Longevity Palace's courtyard. Then, Hua Wanyue followed close behind. It seemed that what Hua Wanyue said was indeed true. A star master and star general that had undergone the double sevens were considered husband and wife. Even if she lost her virginity, there would be no negative effects. On the contrary, her star energy had increased. If this palace had known, then I would not have handed her the double sevens. Chai Ling was incomparably upset. Su Xing smiled. Linger, don't be so fussy. However, only Wanyue was suitable for the double sevens. Chai Ling covered her smile. Congratulations on your marriage to Hua Wanyue. Chai Ling gestured with her hand and had Wanyue approach. Hua Wanyue's pace was elegant. Although she looked at Su Xing with her normal aloofness, everyone could see the slight glint of impossible to hide happiness in the hero star's eyes. To be so moist makes this general somewhat jealous. Dong Junqing whispered to Zhao Hanyan. Chai Ling said, Wanyue, you should have linked hearts with Su Xing last night, correct? N. Hua Wanyue's face immediately blushed. Su Xing was a bit embarrassed. For the sake of breaking free of those restraints, Hua Wanyue did the dirty once more last night. However, this time was for the sake of being husband and wife, so Hua Wanyue's heart logically received it. Everything was very successful. Then little sister Wanyue's heaven-earth dark yellow skill should have been comprehended. Chai Ling's expression was ambiguous. 1, well. Right arrow curving left 2, here we go, Su Xing about to conquer another beauty. Right arrow curving left 3. Oh, no, Shi Yuan slightly frowning face right arrow curving left 4. Right arrow curving left 5. Oh, my right arrow curving left 6. OMG, they're all voyeurs. Hua Wanyue nodded. Chai Ling had not deceived her at all. When her last barrier finally disappeared, she and Su Xing's hearts reached a realm of interconnection. When their hearts connected, the heaven-earth dark yellow skill naturally entered her mind. All of the girls were envious when they heard this. Even Jade Qilin Lu Xiao felt this man Su Xing was truly mysterious. He had so many heaven-earth dark yellow skill-capable wives. In the past star duels, to have one was already exceptional. He, however, had 3 at the least. But the heaven-earth dark yellow skill could be said to be the technique that star generals pursued in their dreams. Even if all techniques were exhausted, so long as there was even a speck of star energy left, it could be activated, and it was very close to a heaven rank. But as a technique to turn the situation around, it was more than enough. Perhaps no star general would truly willingly use a heaven-earth dark yellow skill. After all, to use a heaven-earth dark yellow skill signified playing her last card, but neither did a single star general not look forward to this legendary skill. Then how about you allow Xiaoer to experience it? Lu Xiao issued a challenge. The most top-notch martial general could not possibly remain aloof towards the hero star's heaven-earth dark yellow skill. The other wives were also very curious. They wanted a glimpse of this heaven-earth dark yellow. Hua Wanyue glanced at Su Xing. After receiving Su Xing's approval, she nodded in agreement and entered battle. Wanyue, do not make Xiaoer disappointed. Lu Xiao hefted her golden Qilin lance. Before she finished speaking, a long and thin cold light flit by like a bolt of brilliant lightning. Hua Wanyue drew her bow and fired an arrow, her movements done in a single breath, even more practiced than before. Dong Junqing evaluated this as the difference between a maiden and a wife. Although Shi Yuan knew that this elder sister was very shameless, she could not help but ask what this meant. Dong Junqing said, a maiden is too aloof, her movements coy. A wife is very mature, one who takes the dragon into her cave, provoking a torrent. That is direct and efficient. When she heard torrent, Shi Yuan cursed, you slut. Then, Lu Xiao's body technique warped, dodging this lightning arrow extremely swiftly. The golden Qilin lance also shot towards Hua Wanyue like lightning, the lance's attack taking a very strange trajectory, like an erratically moving snake tongue. It did not allow a person to clearly grasp it, following its master's intentions. Even Su Xing felt this technique was confusing, but who was Hua Wanyue, hero star little Li Guang Hua Rong? She possessed the clearest vision of Maiden Mountain, especially now when it was comparable to a falcon's. Hua Wanyue stepped back, firing a yellow technique, danced through the willows. The moment the arrow left the string, it immediately became willow tufts, then transforming into countless arrows that fell towards Lu Xiao. Although it appeared very magnificent, the yellow rank archery posed completely no threat to Lu Xiao. Jade Qilin leapt up, sweeping her golden Qilin lance. A murderous wind rolled. Bang, bang, bang. The lance and arrow clashed several times. The willow arrows were broken to pieces one by one. Lu Xiao's first assault displayed the strength only the number 1 martial general possessed. She did not show any leniency to the Hua Wanyue who just had her first time. Not only were Lu Xiao's attacks incomparably quick, her defense was flawless. Hu Wanyue drew her bow to the limit. The speed of each and every one of her arrows broke the atmosphere. The trajectory of the arrows formed a terrifying net of killing intent. She was trying to stop the martial general from closing in. Though she perhaps could stop other martial generals, this was absolutely unable to inhibit Liu Xiao's pace. Strength Star Jade Qilin was like a falcon weaving back and forth through the concentrated arrow lights. Even when she was occasionally hit by an arrow, she could still accurately and precisely determine the sufficient range needed to evade. In the blink of an eye, the girl's figure arrived in front of Hua Wanyue. Hua Wanyue was long ready for her. She continued with a dark technique. 10,000 Li God killing arrow. The arrow wrapped in ice-cold killing intent suddenly exploded from the bowstring, releasing an ear-splitting crack. The closer the powerful 10,000 Li God killing arrow drew, the mightier it became. Lu Xiao's eyes could only see blue light. This is bad. Lu Xiao swept her lancer, directly clashing with the 10,000 Li God killing arrow. An enormous storm and wind rose. One breath later and Lu Xiao had already retreated 3 qi away. She had just a bit of a strained expression. Su Xing was very impressed with Lu Xiao. Hua Wanyue had already used her yellow and dark techniques, but Lu Xiao still did not use any of her techniques. As expected of the strongest star general, Hua Wanyue's eyes were like a hawk's. The woman's curves were clearly outlined as she gracefully pulled back on her bow and fired another arrow. Lu Xiao continued to attack, not giving up on closing the distance to the unapproachable Hua Wanyue. The lance already swept over. Hua Wanyue's expression did not change. Her footsteps elegantly shifted and evaded this attack. That broad killing intent nevertheless abruptly changed direction the moment it touched the ground, following through from a charge into a sweep. This time, the attack's speed and power suddenly magnified, yet Hua Wanyue was ready for this, too. The synthesis of her bow and arrow successfully sealed the path of Lu Xiao's attack. And when it was sealed, another arrow forced Lu Xiao back. Hey! Just as Hua Wanyue thought she could draw her bow again, she did not anticipate that when Lu Xiao was stepping back that Lu Xiao would suddenly rebound forward. Powerful force advanced, making Su Xing break into a cold sweat. A battle with the strongest martial general could result in a boon of combat experience, but this was quite dangerous. This absolutely was not something Hua Wanyue's own star energy defenses could block. Even though she was mentally prepared to use the Heaven-Earth-Sun-Moon bow as a buffer, Jade Qilin's tyrannical attack still could not be underestimated. Under that strong momentum, Hua Wanyue's body was suddenly knocked back several meters, but the instant she landed, the girl gracefully recovered her balance. A gentle grunt. Lu Xiao's attack released countless rays of killing intent. The lance's light and aura spun and disturbed the atmosphere, pouncing directly towards Hua Wanyue. At practically the moment Hua Wanyue caught sight of it, the lance's attack seemed to have pierced through her body. Only at a time of no other choice would a star general use her Heaven-Earth Dark Yellow skill. Lu Xiao felt this was still not enough. To be able to leave the Longevity Palace after a duel with the Yu who has comprehended her Heaven-Earth Dark Yellow skill, Xiao is satisfied. Lu Xiao's words carried a slight affection that of an elder sister doting on her little sister. If Xiao hurts you, please forgive Xiao. I do not need such compassion. A slight grin flashed past the corner of Hua Wanyue's lips. Her eyes were suddenly bright. All of a sudden, countless flower petals fluttered around Hua Wanyue's whole body. These petals were like jade as they fell. Master! Yan Yizhen gasped in amazement. Everyone then looked at Su Xing to find that light had appeared on his body at the same time. The exact same kind of flower petals spiraled around Su Xing. This was the characteristic of the heaven-earth dark yellow skill, a psychic connection with the Star Master. Her hair fluttered, and flower petals filled the sky. Her elegance was stifling. All of the girls watched, transfixed. Lu Xiao was also completely watching with rapt attention. Her hand tightly clenched the lance, gathering her star energy. A beautiful heaven-earth dark yellow skill is indeed beautiful, but this opening is too big. Lu Xiao saw that Hua Wanyue was gathering star energy and shook her head. Indeed, this was very beautiful, but this had undoubtedly turned her into a target. Her pace changed. The lance let loose an ice-cold straight towards Hua Wanyue. The lance directly broke through. Whoosh! Flower petals scattered. Hua Wanyue turned into countless flower petals, inconceivably vanishing from under Lu Xiao's lance. Impossible. So fast. Lu Xiao was shocked. Even she could not see clearly how Hua Wanyue could have disappeared. To the side, innumerable flower petals swirled, instantly gathering together to form the shape of Hua Wanyue, a Hua Wanyue drawing her bow. A resplendent arrow was then launched. Killing intent exploded. Astonishingly, it was the powerful presence of the 10,000 Li God killing arrow. Lu Xiao promptly blocked the attack and grunted. The lance danced, sprinkling golden killing intent towards Hua Wanyue, as if it was an unstoppable fain wind. It trapped Hua Wanyue tightly among blade light. Qilin Fall Sky Flash. But regardless how tricky her attack angle or how variable her speed, Lu Xiao's attack still was unable to hurt a single hair on Hua Wanyue's head. During Hua Wanyue's dance, the woman gracefully drew her bow. Each time Lu Xiao attacked, she would be easily avoided, and the speed at which Hua Wanyue appeared became faster and faster. That crimson and blue heaven-earth-sun-moon bow endlessly fired arrows from every angle. Each arrow without expression burst with power. Each arrow was a 10,000 Li God killing arrow. Su Xing, what reaction do you have from the hero star's heaven-earth dark yellow skill? Zhao Hanyan asked. Generally speaking, a Star Master had a response to their Star General's heaven-earth dark yellow skill, and the Star Master similarly would receive many benefits. Su Xing closed his eyes. No need to be so roundabout. Dong Junqing thrust her spear. Red flowers fluttered, surprisingly reflecting Dong Junqing's killing intent. So it can reflect killing intent. Dong Junqing was astonished. Elder Sister Wanyue's heaven-earth dark yellow skill looks so amazing. Each arrow is a 10,000 Li God killing arrow, Shi Yuan watched in utter shock. The 10,000 Li God killing arrow could be said to be Hua Wanyue's strongest technique. From more than 10,000 li away, an arrow came from the east, brimming with killing intent, like a demon. But to fire the 10,000 Li God killing arrow naturally required preparation, unlike Hua Wanyue right now, who was under a heaven-earth dark yellow skill. She surprisingly did not need preparation, no time to charge. Each arrow had the power of the 10,000 Li God killing arrow. Her dark technique had become her normal arrows. Against a cultivator, even a top-notch cultivator would perhaps be unable to last under such a concentrated barrage of 10,000 Li God killing arrows. Right, what is the name of this heaven-earth dark yellow skill? Shi Yuan curiously asked. Su Xing was somewhat embarrassed. You'll have to ask Wanyue herself. Furthermore, in battle, Lu Xiao was truly formidable. In the middle of Hua Wanyue's heaven-earth dark yellow, the speed of that several dozen 10,000 Li God killing arrows accelerated. The 10,000 Li God killing arrow was inherently fast, and its power was also incomparably tyrannical, thus did it bear the name God killing. Just a few arrows were overpowering, let alone so many. But Lu Xiao weaved through the 10,000 Li God killing arrows, her speed fast beyond compare. The golden Qilin lance continuously warded off the 10,000 Li God killing arrow. But the more numerous the 10,000 Li God killing arrows became, the more wild their power surged. Lu Xiao already felt overwhelmed, and her evasion was increasingly narrow. Hua Wanyue's figure that fired arrows was also extremely quick. If she did not use an earth rank, Lu Xiao honestly would have no way to break this technique. As expected of the strongest technique only after a heaven rank. Several bouts later, Lu Xiao finally was suppressed by the endless 10,000-li god-killing arrows. The power of these several dozen 10,000-li god-killing arrows linked together to finally knock Lu Xiao flying. The flower petals fluttering around Hua Wanyue's body finally vanished. The heaven-earth dark yellow skill concluded. The hero star was just about to collapse out of exhaustion. Just as Su Xing was about to rush over, Lu Xiao already hugged the girl. Little sister's technique is very formidable, as expected. Truly good, this heaven-earth dark yellow skill. Sorry, shower made little sister Wanyue overdo it. Lu Xiao said apologetically. Hua Wanyue shook her head and stood with difficulty. Su Xing walked over. Su Xing, shower leaves your wife to you to take care of. Lu Xiao smiled and said. Su Xing hugged Hua Wanyue. Because of the influence of the double sevens, the closer he got to Hua Wanyue, the faster her star energy recovered. Elder sister, what is the name of that heaven-earth dark yellow skill just now? Hua Wanyue glanced at Su Xing and gently spoke. Too young to have learned about sorrow. All of the girls perspired. As expected of the most graceful heavenly star, even her heaven-earth dark yellow skill was so moving. 1. That is, the difference between an inexperienced virgin and a mature, experienced woman. Right arrow curving left 2. From a poem by Wang Chongling. Also apparently can be translated as, she regrets urging her husband to take high office. Adapted from this translation that you're tuning into the Han Li's Wuxia Adventures YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.